to everyone. And so where were we? Talking about Mike Evans now, right?
Yeah, Mike Evans, you have a liner saying, Tampa Bay Buccaneer. So now you got to get a new liner. Well, you're listening to Knockout Radio. This is Mike Evans, former Buccaneer. Or do you say current 49er?
Yeah, you would go current 49er.
Okay. And I see a lot of people devastated. I see one of your longtime fans, Shanisha Bryant. I know she's devastated that Mike isn't here. So a lot of people are emotionally invested in this loss. Ed said the diehard fans understand the business and they don't care. But I think for Mike, I think he is that face of the franchise. He is that guy that everybody thought would retire here. That's, made enough money where it wasn't about the dollars and finish his career where he started. And, so I think a lot of people are hurt. What do you think?
I think you should grow up. And like I've said on all the Book of Faces, all the social media, it's a job to these guys, just like it's a job for you out there. If Burger King offers you more money and better opportunities than McDonald's, you're moving. And people have come back with, well, it's different. They're not a team. Yeah, you are. When you work together, wherever you work, it's a team. You become friends. It is what it is. But when it's all said and done, you owe everything, all your loyalty, everything to your wife, to your family, and what's best for you. And for whatever reason, and a lot of people are bringing up, what was it? It's like Atlanta's 28-3. I don't remember what the number was against Atlanta, and how dejected he was. And, he's coming towards the end of his career. Let him be happy. And he wants to be happy elsewhere.
All right. Well, and the memes are already out there. I've shared it on my wall, of course, because I'm a troll and I like to stir the pot. But his tendons and ligaments after one practice on the Levi Stadium practice facility with the electromagnetic field and the substation and how all the injuries of 49er players. So before he even takes a snap in San Francisco, he might snap a tendon. So
and the sad thing before Ed comments, the sad thing is a lot of Buccaneer fans are hoping for that.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, they've said it.
Oh, they want to see him injured because of his betrayal?
Yes.
Wow. Man, football fans suck.
No, all fans do. I mean, all fans do, and they're taking it personal. And, he promised this, he promised that, 2 weeks ago, 3 days ago. But let's go to 5 seconds from now. Go ahead, Ed. What's your thoughts?
Well, first off, I didn't say the fans don't care. They care. I mean, but some people understand that this is a business. And the fact is that, I had Graves' concern when he came off the field and he kept saying 3rd and 28. And I said, if Todd Bowles comes back, he's not going to be here. He's not going to be here. And I think this might be a ripple effect. I think Levante David is probably going to call it quits.
I agree. I agree 100%. And
there's no faith in Todd Bowles other than Todd Bowles himself. That's it. When you fire most of the staff and saying the problem was the defense, but yet you keep the defensive coordinator, I don't understand that. And that's what fans don't understand. Good luck selling tickets next year, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're burning jerseys, take them to the vintage store on Central Avenue, and they'll give you $1 for it.
That's true. Yeah. A lot of jerseys will end up in the Goodwills and the Salvation
That's ridiculous. Anybody that's burning I haven't seen that. I think that's only in Buffalo or Philadelphia, where they're burning jerseys and stuff.
No, they burned LeBron's in Cleveland.
In 6 or 7 years, when Mike Evans is going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, they'll be rebuying another jersey.
Right.
Yeah, because they have short-term memory and they'll forget. But yeah, you can probably find a good deal this week in the thrift stores. Shop around, look for the discarded Mike Evans jerseys coming to a Goodwill near you. I love thrifting. Do you guys thrift at all? Do you guys go to thrift stores?
Oh, my son lives at it. He loves it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the hunt. You never know what you're gonna find. I found a copper mug for 50 cents. Online it's like $49, but you just never know because somebody else doesn't understand what it is or don't know what it is. They discard it, or they're doing an estate sale and they clear out. So a lot of really good stuff ends up in places you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I think I ruined our stream.
Yeah.
When I hit end and then we got booted out, and hopefully the link, we've sent the new link to Mo, we've sent the new link to Brad Tavares, and I'm hoping that the UFC will forward the new link, even though it's the same link. So I still don't understand all this social media, all this streaming crap.
Yeah. It's just a studio you got to be in. So
I know, but we were in it before and we're in the same room. So how can it be a different link?
Well, because each studio has a different link.
Well, whatever happened, you guys bailed, and I kept the thing going for 10 minutes.
We had no choice. We got kicked out.
Video was like, it was 10 minutes of me, and then it finally said, "Let me get out of here and find out where the hell they are."
We ran to the beach. We bought a pizza. All right, so we're done talking the Mike Evans thing. How about what a lot of people are claiming, including the two participants in Rhonda and Gina, that this is the biggest MMA event. This is the biggest combat fight of all time. And then we'll talk about the White House card. Thoughts on Gina and Rhonda?
I mean, I think Sean Strickland said it best, two women in menopause fighting. Nobody cares. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think people will watch it because I think they are equally matched as far as age and, kind of like over the hill and not as big of a star, name as it was. So I think people will watch it just because I think it might actually be a good battle. I mean, a good fight. So, it's females, and I think if you do it with, Francis Ngannou and Jake Paul and their reach and influence, I think you're going to get a lot of eyeballs on it.
It'll get eyeballs, but I don't know how many people are really truly excited about it. I know the press conference was just the other day. If I'm not doing anything else, I'll throw it on. But like they asked me if I wanted to get credentialed for it, and I don't. I don't want to fly to California for that.
Yeah.
Not just because of the money situation. It doesn't interest me that much. It would have interested me 20 years ago. 16 years ago, but
I do agree with Ronda Rousey in the aspect of, the UFC might have made a mistake going with Paramount Plus because I've been watching it. The streams have been, intermittent. They cut out. You can't really watch the end of the fights. Like other nations in the world have no issue with the broadcast, but domestically, there's a lot of reports. People can't really watch it. And when you go to the app, just like there's not really a lot of content. I was expecting it to be like the library of the UFC, all the old fights, all the old embedded, all the old Ultimate Fighters, and it was just going to be like one specific destination where you could go to, like the UFC app on Paramount Plus, and it's going to bring up a library of all the past. And that's not the case. There's like a couple links, a couple shows, but it's not really interactive. So a big disappointment from my side of the fence.
I got to agree with you. We were up late last night. Neither one of us, my wife and I, could sleep, and I did the same thing. And so I went on it because I wanted to show my wife the Matt Hughes Frank Trigg fight, and it's not there. I can't find it. So wherever everything is, I couldn't tell you, but I was definitely disappointed.
Yeah, no, I think, it sounds great. Look, if you have this $7.7 billion streaming rights deal, you would expect that it would have access to all the UFC, content, and then they would be able to show old fights and different eras and go back. And I mean, I was excited for that kind of potential, but it doesn't look like that's the case, and doesn't look like that's going to be there. So,
yeah, I was definitely disappointed. Then I went to YouTube. And I'll tell you what, some of our videos that are up on YouTube, really the quality is pretty good.
Yeah.
I was, all right. Thank you. So the old link is working, so we're good. Okay. I just asked a favor and somebody popped in, so everybody should be good.
Okay.
So all good. Thanks. Okay. I'm not going to bring him in though, because we're talking to him later. Okay.
All right.
All right, I'm just talking among ourselves right now. Okay, perfect. All right, so it appears that it works. So I don't understand. Right. I don't understand. Unless he used the wrong link to check. That's possible. Anyway, all right, so Rhonda Gina coming up.
Yeah.
RAF coming to town.
Okay.
They'll be here in 2 weeks.
Oh,
A lot of
nice.
stuff going on that same night. So you got CFFC and you've
Yeah.
got RAF.
Well, CFFC is on Friday.
Oh,
It's
all
in
right.
it's in 2 days. It's at the Hard Rock Casino, so they moved it from
Oh,
the
I thought it was
fairground.
next week.
That's it is Friday. Friday the 13th.
It's a good day to have it.
Are you coming out?
Absolutely not.
I'm working. I'm there for the commission, so I'll be there.
I'm not coming.
No?
It appears they don't want media there.
Oh. Because they don't need it?
I guess. I'm not going to air dirty laundry and stuff.
Well, I mean, that's Ronda Rousey's, biggest gripe with all this. She's like, the UFC has this mindset of like they're the big fish, they're the head honcho, they don't have to do the things that other promotions have to do. And then she's like, look, other players are coming to the market and they're going to take over this share if they don't want to do it the right way. So she's saying the MVP and other promotions will eventually take over the UFC and its influence. And you can't really argue. I mean, look, I've got this. No, because I've got this Budweiser home phone.
Yeah,
right?
you can argue it.
But it says Budweiser, the king of beers. Man, I don't know the last time someone even walked up to my kiosk at Tapville and asked for a Budweiser, just straight Budweiser. It's not the king of beers. Things evolve. Things that used to be on top and were the institution and like the household name have now no longer have influence.
Agreed.
So I think the UFC could be in trouble. If they keep this kind of energy going, I think Ronda might have a valid point.
I think for you and Ronda and all the rest of the delusional people in the world, you need to get stars to try to pull from the UFC. If you're going to start a new football league, you need stars to fight against the NFL. Back when the USFL was there, they had stars. In 2 years, they were out of business. So it's going to take more than 2 older MMA names, stars, to steal from the biggest organization in mixed martial arts.
Yeah, but BKFC's been doing it. I mean, look at how many names they've got. They got Conor McGregor to buy into as an investor, an owner.
Okay. All right.
Mean,
that's not necessary. Hold on. Anybody would have brought Conor McGregor in. I don't know how much buying in Conor did or had to do, which is neither here nor there. If you go and give a percentage, whether it's for a nominal fee, a big fee, or no fee at all, and bring in a big name, of course, anybody's going to do that. Tom Brady would go anywhere to a pickleball league. Hey, you're going to be an owner. You're going to this, you're going to that. I mean, he's doing that with the Raiders.
Right.
How much did he put in comparison to what that team is worth? I'm sure nothing. Whatever that percentage is, isn't that percentage of what that team is worth. Because of what Tom Brady brings in.
I'm just saying that she's not wrong, and things are changing. And now that there's no White House card with no McGregor and no Jones.
Well, there is a White House card, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Right now, I know how excited you are about this.
Oh, yeah.
And we've talked about this for a few minutes. Let's welcome to the program, Mo Shakur. Mo, how are you, sir?
Salutations. Good morning, good brothers.
We appreciate your time. And I know we're going to talk about a lot of things, including the book that just came out. But talk to us about growing up in your family. And I was telling Matt, and I hope this comes out properly, even people who are not familiar with your family and familiar with everything your family does, they know your brother's name.
Oh, yeah. My little brother was one of a kind for sure. I mean, growing up, I was happy to have a little brother. As we got different mothers, but when we met, he was 2, I was 6, and we played like kids that age do. We played fight all the time. We fought karate. Karate was the thing back then. Bruce Lee was the man. So everybody was trying to fight karate, and we would hang out with our cousins and get in trouble in the projects and chase each other around. That was a sweet spot.
Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Mo. So it's a small world. It's a small circle. and Randy and your brother might have more in common than we all thought. And
Oh,
so,
really?
yes, sir. So I got to ask the question, in Ambition of a Rider, where the Michael Buffer, "Let's get ready to rumble" liner is used in the song, right? And I know Michael's given permission to Tupac. They had a great relationship, but Randy had permission as well to use that liner. It was still issued as
Oh.
a cease and desist letter from Bruce. So, so did Tupac ever receive that same cease and desist letter from the Buffer family?
Wow. Oh, that's a trip. Yeah, Pac, that's the one sport that Pac loved was boxing. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a little scrappy dude. He loved boxing, and yeah, that made that whole project was a miracle, damn near.
And that
Well,
that is a true story. So Michael did the radio show, and he started. I said, I know people ask you to do this all the time. Would you do the liner? He said, absolutely. He did it, and it didn't come out perfect. So then I called Michael back at his house and asked him to redo it. And then Bruce is like, well, he didn't know that he was doing that. I'm like, Bruce, I called him back at his house. He definitely, knew about it. So what was it like at the dinner table? What was it like, the two of you as youngsters?
Hey, great minds think alike. We were eh, just like everybody else, except for our diets were a little different. My father was also a healer. He was an acupuncture doctor. They were into food as medicine way before it was chic. So we would, eat a lot of seeds, a lot of fruits and vegetables, a lot of, for example, if I got a cold, my pops would make me eat a whole lemon, the lemon and the peel, and the peel.
And the peel.
So, for a kid, and a lemon, but it worked.
now, I mean, that's kind of like along the Dr. Sebi lines. I mean, you can eat your hydration and from the earth and the seeds. I mean, we know apricot seeds can fight cancer. I mean, there's some
Yeah, to a certain
healing,
extent. To a
right?
certain extent,
For
you
sure.
got to be a realist about this shit. I mean, pardon my French, but
Yeah.
He said ship. He said ship. He
Yeah.
knew that I was in the Navy. He said ship.
Okay, I just I'm a guest. So I'm gonna be cool.
Go ahead, Matt.
That's great, Mo. No, it's but no, like the healing's the way. But before, maybe like at some point, is it true that your brother was working in a pizzeria? There's a video. There's a video of him like quitting a pizza job to go to an audition because his manager wouldn't let him, and he lights a cigarette and walks off. Is that AI or was that real? Because I was a pizza guy for 20 years, and we always
I,
heard that story.
I was a pizza guy too. We all, we grew
Oh,
up in New York, and that was one of the easiest jobs you could get because they could pay us for pizza. Uh, in my case, for sure. But yeah, Pop did work at a pizza joint. So did I.
Mo, I got to tell you another honest to God true story. Matt got involved in this radio show as a sponsor by feeding me free pizza. That's how he got involved with the show.
it's true.
So it all has definitely gone full circle. Talk about
Yeah, man.
the book, This Thug Life.
Okay, this thug's life is like my whole life until we lost Pac. All right, so it covers like about 30 years, and it talks about us as kids and our family and what we were going through. Our development, our trials and tribulations until Pac and I made it in the entertainment business, and it tells about that part too. So it's like the crossroads of Black history and Black music history, because Pac became the greatest of all time. Let me tell it.
What's, in your opinion, the biggest misconception of your family and of your brother?
The biggest misconception. Look, our parents were revolutionaries. Part of revolutionary movements, anti-war movements. Black Panthers, Black Liberation Armies. There's a lot of resistance in our story, and a lot of fighting. Stiff resistance. We're actually trying to produce a show called Stiff Resistance, and a lot of people think we just crazy, violent, non-thinking, non-rational people, but that is not the case. We just love the people real hard, real hard. And our family were community organizers. It's our Black Panthers helped started the free breakfast programs in this country, amongst other things. So that's what it was really about. But sometimes you got to fight. Sometimes you have to resist.
So Mo, let me go back to your storyline. I know you get a lot of questions about your brother and your family, your mother, but you've had different names throughout the years. Wicked and Mercedes and Mopreme. But I'll give you a little trivia. Maybe you don't know this, but in the Mickey Mouse signature, backwards in reflection, it spells wicked. A different spelling than the way you spelled yours. But talk to the fans out there. Talk to the people about trying a new identity, being a content creator, or starting your way through music or acting, and how, like, if it doesn't catch traction, how you have to pivot and create a new identity or a new brand or a new name, how you've done successfully over the years to stay relevant for all these years. So what's the best advice for those that are trying to follow in your footsteps?
Well, this is one of the reasons why I love music. It's constantly evolving, and I see myself first as a creator, and this method is not unknown to people. They know Prince. Prince changed his to a symbol. He ain't even using it. So you're blessed if you have enough relevance for the people, your fans, to follow you through these changes and see how your art changes. Because there's no constants. Everything is evolving. And adapt and overcome.
It's powerful, man. That's a powerful statement. Adapt and overcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Better
All right.
believe it.
So I want to ask this, and I hope it's okay, because everybody acts differently, out in public than they do at home. And there was a situation, a fighter at the gym that I train at, when he finally made it into the UFC. I mean, he got a little bit of a big head, and we were in Vegas, and he fought, and he started to walk away, and I cornered him. And I go, dude, you don't act like that. You've now made it, but you still stay grounded. You still stay who we know you are from the gym in Tampa. Did anything like that ever happen, whether you to your brother or your brother to maybe you?
Oh, definitely. In the younger days, because you got to realize Pac started becoming famous at like 18, 19, to when he got into business. So he was still young. He wasn't perfect, but he knew he was good. And so, at times, we had a nickname for him. We would call him King Lear, because he knew he was the man. He knew he was the shit. But at the same time, there were other lessons that he needed to learn, and I had a few more years on him. I had been in the military, I had my hit record, Feels Good, Mercedes, so I had a little more game to give him as opposed to the rest of the guys.
All right, I'm scared to ask this question. What branch of the military?
Army.
Yeah, all right.
What are you, Marine? Let me guess.
Marine? No. I'm too smart to be a Marine. I was in the Navy.
Oh, squid.
So I know we only have another couple minutes left, but I want to do this now that I know that you're a fan. I always like to send a thank you package. So I'm going to reach out to your PR people, and we're going to send the package that we normally do, but I want to send you my challenge coin. And the kind of funny thing about my challenge coin, when I made it, the knucklehead that's sitting on the show as well goes, why would you put the Navy logo on it? Now I can't give it out. And I said, Matt, that's the whole idea. You don't deserve to give it out. You're not a vet. So I would be very honored to send you my challenge coin when I get your address and everything down the road.
Right on, brother.
Hey Mo, I was gonna say, growing up in the 80s and 90s, I mean, your brother's influence, my life. I grew up in Indiana, Midwest kid, and people never really thought that the Midwest was full of gang activity, but we were like a connect city between Atlanta and Chicago, St. Louis and Cincinnati, with Nashville and Indianapolis nearby. So it was always about the GD disciples, Vice Swords, Bloods, Crips, what have you.
Yeah.
And I could never wear a bandana like this in public, because if I wore it like this, it said I was about that thug life. And so I brought out this UFC banner today. I know your brother lost his life after the Mike Tyson fight in Vegas. I know he's a big fan of combat sports.
Yeah.
Are you as big a fan of combat sports? Do you like boxing? Do you show up to them? Do you like to go? Because if you do, Randy and I would love to bring you to an event.
Oh, wow. Thanks, man. I am I went to Pac with the Bo Holyfield fight in Vegas. We went to that one together. That was my first professional fight, going to professional fight. But yeah, man, that'd be great. Thanks, man.
So
and I know about Indiana too. Gary up there,
Yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah.
My basic training buddy was from Indiana. Shout out to Lenny.
I see Ed popped in, so I have a feeling, Ed, you have something to ask.
I just wanted to say hi, Mo, and I wanted to ask you your brother's one of your favorite movie from your brother, and then I'll give you mine.
Ooh, that's a good question. You know which one I like the most? Gridlock.
Really?
Gridlock.
For me, it was Poetic Justice.
Yeah.
Janet Jackson, and I still love that. Cut and Pete.
Couldn't Pete, yeah.
Cut and Pete. Just Cut and Pete.
Yeah, that was Pac had man, he was funny, he was dynamic,
smooth.
He had so many weapons to use in that game, you know.
He was so smooth.
Before we run out of time, Mo, can you tell people where they can pick up the book? How do they get it?
And I love Juice too, so Juice and Gridlock. Okay, the book is at Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, anywhere you buy books, ThisThugsLife.com, the website, MrMoPreemShakur.com, my website. We got the audio book, the ebook, the hardcover book, so I appreciate if y'all support your boy, and thanks to everybody that already copped it. It really appears to be touching people in the right way, so I'm glad, we wasn't wasting our time.
Mo, we appreciate your time. We'll put all the links up on our social media. I'll reach out to the PR people that connected us, and I want to get the coin to you. I want to get you to a fight. We'll pick either a bare knuckle fight out west or a UFC when they come to California. We'll hook up and we'll have a good time. That's for sure.
Yeah. And you guys in Tampa, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to Tampa. I'm glad I remembered. Homo Shock G, Digital Underground.
Yeah.
Last time I was out there, we were at his funeral, and the people showed us a lot of love. So shout out to Tampa, no doubt.
We'll be in touch. We'll talk soon. Thank you for your time, sir.
You as well.
See you, Mo.
That was awesome right there. I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
All right, let's hit a break. We'll be back top of the hour. Hopefully the links are working for the UFC guys as well. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's going on? This is from TV's Newlyweds, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. 8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
So Brad said that the original, and we're still streaming on the YouTube, so be careful. But Brad said that when he popped in, he used the original link.
Okay.
But Mo didn't. Mo had to use the other one, so I don't understand.
It's crazy.
So that went pretty well. That was pretty cool.
That was awesome. Man, you didn't know that Pac and you had something in common with the Michael Buffer liner.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. The military thing is cool. So
Yeah.
I just sent to the PR so I can send him the coin.
Yeah, he never, Pac never like walked Tyson to the ring, but he did create song for Tyson to walk out to. So I changed his hit song from Ambitions as a rider to Ambitions as a fighter. And he did like a remix for Tyson. So
We are continuing to talk here on YouTube for everybody because I'm afraid if I stop it, we'll never get back on.
well, back during that early era, like when E40, a rapper from the Bay Area, where your boy Evans is now stationed.
No, he's not stationed. He's not in the military.
He's stationed in San Fran, but he there's a line in the song that says "front row at the ultimate fights, Shamrock and Severin," and so he's talking about early UFC in a rap song back in probably the same era when Pac was big into the boxing scene. So these rappers in that industry have made a tremendous impact in combat sports over the years to bring more fans, to be part of the entourage, or to walk fighters to the ring. We've seen Justin Bieber do it. We've seen Floyd Mayweather bring out rappers and different people. So it's cool to see it all come back.
I just sent you a text if you can text me back.
Mhm.
Hopefully, as we continue talking on the YouTube channel, I'm still trying to learn how to do all this mess. One of the 3 UFC fighters has already verified that the link still works. And then hopefully Charles Johnson and Stephen Asplund will be able to use the same one as well. So
make sure you spelled your message right, because
I didn't.
I don't know what that middle word is.
You know what it is. Come on.
What? I don't get it. No, I really don't. I'm being serious.
You're an idiot. And I'm saying that on YouTube.
Oh, I got it.
$20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Hey, this is Deontay the Brown Spummer Wilder, WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And you're listening to Knockout Radio. Bam, baby. Good night.
We just came back from a very successful Super Bowl Radio Row, a week there. We've done a lot in the last year. And how many new liners have we gotten in the last year?
Not many.
Yeah. We need to work on that. We also need to work on how to run this YouTube StreamYard stream properly.
Well, now you can get liners from Mike Evans, the newest receiver in San Francisco, because people don't know that you were there to broker that trade and help make that happen while we were in San Fran 3 weeks ago.
I got to be honest with you. I want a liner that says, "This is Mike Evans, number 3 of the San Francisco 49ers, and you're listening to Knockout Radio based in the Tampa Bay area." That's what I want. That's what
3 or number 3, or 13, because he's number 13.
Yeah, he'll be. I believe he's going to be number 3. He's not getting 13.
Oh, he got my number. I mean, I don't know if he can use my number. My number's retired in San Fran. That jersey, the Knockout Radio jersey at the Super Bowl, it's legendary. I think we should retire that number in San Fran.
Well, when you say we, that would be Knockout Radio. That wouldn't be the NFL in the whole world, you putz.
I don't know. I mean, I had the NFL phone. I mean, we had a legendary week out there. I don't think anybody's going to be able to top that as far as what was, achieved until we do it next year in Los Angeles.
Of course it'll be topped in San Francisco when Mike Evans leads the 49ers to the Super Bowl and a Super Bowl victory, and he'll be the MVP with 197 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Stop it. You think that he's going to make the team a Super Bowl contender?
Well, hold on a second, Matthew. They already are a Super Bowl contender.
They were, but they were too beat up. They got injuries. Kittle's injured. You know, McAfee or McCarthy or what's his name is McCaffrey, like
McCarthy,
whatever. Like that dude had to carry the ball every single snap because everyone else was injured. So maybe Evans takes the burden off, but I don't know if he is a difference maker to make them from where they are to champion.
Yes, he is.
You think so?
If the same team that played last year, now it'll never be the same team, but I'm saying this: if it's close, if the quality is close, Mike Evans is that type of player to put a team over, to put them into the next hemisphere or whatever. Absolutely. A lot of teams go out. I remember when the Buccaneers brought Alvin Harper from Dallas, thinking he was going to be that guy. He was number 2 in Dallas, and he turned out to be a number 3 here in Tampa. Mike Evans, the tail end of his career, we get that. But I think if he goes out there with the weapons that they have, I think he could be the final piece.
Oh, all right.
And I think fans, which I have posted over and over and over and over and over again, is short for fanatics. It's a job. Yes, he's been here for 12 years. Yes, his roots were now planted here. But how many players, when they go wherever, do they stay? I've been covering the Buccaneers since the mid-'80s. And I'm sure I don't know every Buccaneer that stayed in town. But if you take 53 and then, the practice squad and whatever, let's just say 60 players a year. I've been covering the team since 85, 95, 05, 15, 40 years. So 40 times 60. I'll bet you there's not more than, I'm even going to go high, 50 players that live in town. Go ahead, Ed.
I was just going to say, I mean, there were other big Buccaneer stars that left. Warren Sapp, John Lynch. I mean, it's very rare that one player finishes his career in the place that he started.
It is very rare.
Rondé Barber did it here.
Brooks did.
Mike Allstott did it here. It's just very rare. And like I said,
well, you know what's rare about it, Ed?
Listen,
let me just say this. My dimensional kick in and I'll forget. So those players, I know for a fact Derek Brooks could have gone elsewhere. He didn't get the deal. He didn't get what he was looking for. Could Rondé? A lot of guys leave because they feel they can still play, or they leave because they don't want to miss. They love, the camaraderie. They love the locker room. They love whatever. So it's a lot of that. The money comes in, but they just want to keep playing. But didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
I was going to say some players have to be shown the door.
Yeah.
The other thing too is it speaks volumes how or the lack of faith that Mike Evans really had to continue here, because not only is he going to take a pay cut, you remember there's the taxes out in San Fran are just ridiculous,
right?
The weather's going to be kind of iffy, but it's more of a chance just to go out and finish his career as to get another Super Bowl ring. Are they a lock? No. He's going to be a contributing factor, no doubt, to do that. So I mean, hey, listen, be thankful he didn't go to the Atlanta Falcons or something that we're going to play twice a year.
The only thing that would have made our Super Bowl run, Matt, better is when you went up to Willie Brown and you asked Willie Brown, the former mayor of San Francisco, your city's in trouble. Who are you going to call for help? Instead of him saying Willie Brown, if he would have said Mike Evans, it would have been classic.
Wow.
It would have been absolutely outstanding.
Well, it would have been better if we would have had that on video, but
Well, either one
next year. But
right, so I'm going to throw somebody under the bus. I won't say his name, but you'll definitely know who it is. So I'm in the media room after UFC 326. And about halfway through, a guy walks in. He walks over to John Morgan and says hi. Then he walks over to me. He hugs me. We talk for about 2, 3, 4 minutes. He walks out. Said person comes up and says, hey, I was going to film Chuck Liddell coming over and saying hi to you, but I forgot to hit play.
Wow.
Yeah, being a professional cameraman sometimes a tough business.
It's tough, man. It's tough. But you know what? With the storyline the way it is, that San Fran didn't win the Super Bowl in their own stadium and had the opportunity to do what the Bucks did a few years ago.
And the
Being
Rams.
the host city,
And the
right?
Rams.
So, but it would be fitting that if they win it in California, just not in San Fran, but win it in L.A. So maybe you're right. Maybe we should put that bet down. If you bet now, I wonder what the odds are on that.
I'll do it.
Jared.
Right.
We got to ask Jared.
We could ask Jared as well, but it's worth a dollar. It's worth a dollar.
I'll throw $100 on that thing.
I'm throwing a bet out. Okay. Now, it was my fault. I hit end. I lost the stream. I guess it means we're going to lose out on at least two of the UFC guys because they didn't get the new stream, even though Brad Tavares said that it worked. So I don't know what's going on. But when I did my 12 seconds of research on Stephen Asplund, who I believe is a heavy underdog in his fight against Vitor Petrina. So if you go to his, I don't know if it was Wikipedia, YouTube, whatever the channel, it states that he wins in a surprising upset.
Really?
On a fight that happens in 4 days.
I mean, we heard Derek Lewis talk about how, he was going to win by knockout first round, and that's what the script said, and that's what he went out to do. So who knows, man? I mean, so much crazy stuff out there with AI and betting lines and narratives and powers that be. But Rampage Jackson's been on the TV. I know he was just in town last week, but he's been on TV talking on Kick and on social media talking about how he was offered to throw a fight in Pride, that if he won, he was going to get 10K, or, and if he lost, he was going to get 12. And, so he was.
Hold on a second. Hold on. That's the number that they put out?
Yeah,
or are you making it up?
Oh, that's what he said. It was like 10K to fight. He's like, and if he won, or if he lost, then he won 12,000 to lose. They paid him 2,000 more to lose.
All right. First of all, I don't know anybody who would have done that. Now, obviously, there are people that would be willing to, if it's 10 grand if you win and it's 100 grand if you lose, because it means everybody's going to be betting on you to lose. That's where they're going to make their money back, I would assume. But to entice someone to do something as illegal as throw a fight for 2 grand, I don't see it.
Well, who is the big star in Pride? Who is the big star? He's a Japanese fighter.
Well, Fedor was in Pride.
Well, yeah, but like this was the Japanese star. I guess he had lost his last fight, and they needed him to have a victory to build his name back up.
Well, then you don't have him fight Quentin.
Right. Well, that's what happened. So, but no, he talked about it. I saw it on a video the other day.
Well, the mistake would be, like I said, setting it up to fight Quentin does not make a whole lot of sense.
I'm looking up the video now, see if I can
find it. Live on the radio, huh? You think
it's live production? So,
press conference tomorrow with the Buccaneers. For those of you that are have credentials to go out there, there'll be interview sessions at 3:45, and 4:15. I'll be out there, and we'll present all the information.
What information is that?
Well, we don't know who we're going to talk to. Oh, getting an update. Everybody loved our conversation with Big Mo. He's the real Big Mo, not the other Big Mo. He's the Big Mo.
Mo Spades is a Big Mo. He's like 7 foot.
He's Mo.
Speaking of 7-footers, Shaq apparently is dating a 7-foot tall basketball player, a woman. And I mean, I've had to specify that, I guess. But apparently they're talking about the rumor is that they're going to create a baby that would be genetically superior, that 2 7-footers create a baby for basketball superiority.
Would that make the baby 16 feet tall?
20 years. I don't know how it works. I don't know the formula, but
14.
14 feet tall. Yeah.
I'm not saying just not adding the two together. I'm just, saying it, pulling out a number.
But what are your thoughts on it? I mean, we obviously know that modification of DNA or breeding has gone on since the beginning of time. I mean, the Africans did it with the laborers and the slaves, and they would breed to build stronger humans and more athletic or fit people to do more manual labor. So What are your thoughts on Shaq and a 7-foot female having a baby just for performance on the athletic field?
No comment.
Volleyball, basketball. I mean,
no comment.
I'm just saying.
Whatever. It's whatever. Ridiculous and awesome at the same time. How's that?
Would they just have to move the basketball goal? Like if everyone's tall.
They didn't move it for Yao Ming. They didn't move it for who's the guy that played at UCF? Who was like 7'10" or something, 7'7", who didn't make it very far in the NBA, but he was just in the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game.
Really?
And you know how they played? The 4 people would dribble up and throw to him.
Wow.
And he stood, 2 inches from the basket.
Well, there's a social media guy.
Or the French guy that's tearing it up, in Texas.
Oh yeah, so, Wembley.
No. Yeah, Wembley. They didn't move anything up for because of them.
But there's a guy on social media. He's like kind of a hippie, but he's 7tree. That's his Instagram name. 7tree, TREE.
I get
7tree.
Yeah,
but he's like he was in downtown St. Pete and he's doing photos and everybody's taking pictures with him, and so it's I don't know. I don't know what you thought about that concept, because if they did have a baby, genetically it would have a superior advantage probably over.
And who's going to raise this child?
I mean, they have some. I mean, Shaq has 500 burger places, and
no, I understand. Shaq has.
If Pac worked in a pizzeria to get free food and paid in pizza, and Mo got paid in pizza, then Shaq could pay his baby in the burgers.
But the question is, obviously, Shaq has enough money that he could have more than one kid.
Yeah,
he could have as many as he wants, especially with the way he's bringing them up. When his son said, "But Dad, we're rich," and he said, "No, son, I'm rich.
Right.
You're not." So, it doesn't matter. He could have all the kids he wants because they're all going to go out and work. But I'm saying, where will this child be raised? Will he be raised at Shaq's house, at the mother's house? Will it go in through the system? Or are you just having this baby just for the future? And what are they going to end up doing if the baby turns out to be 5'4"?
Right. I mean, I think if it pops out and it's 7'2", I think you raise it in the Smithsonian. You just put it on Capitol Hill and just make it a national treasure. Speaking of DC, former MMA fighter Senator Mark Wayne Mullen out of Oklahoma is now dubbed the Secretary, Department of Homeland Security by President Trump. So shout out to the 5-0 undefeated MMA fighter known as Senator Mullen, and also part of the Oklahoma State Wrestling Hall of Fame. So one of us, Randy, making it to head the Department of Homeland Security. How cool is that?
What Hall of Fame are you in?
Well, I'm in the Pizza Hall of Fame.
Where? Where's that? Where's that? I want documentation.
Well, I want back. It's on my patio.
Okay. It's something you started. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. I'm not in any Hall of Fames yet.
Well, you said he's one of us.
Well, he's an MMA fighter. He's a combat fighter. So when you think of politics, you don't really think of fighters or MMA fighters, boxers, champions. You don't really think of that kind of mindset, right? They usually come from Ivy League and they're lawyers and they use their intellect. They don't use their brawn. So for an MMA guy that came from that whole Lions Den era with Ken Shamrock and Frank, that barbaric underground, fighting systems, it's cool to see us make it to the top, man. I think it's really cool, especially with the White House card coming up. Although it looks like a disappointing lineup. And your thoughts, Randy, on the new White House card in
Let's
June.
Let's hit this break. We'll come back in that segment. We will talk about the White House card coming up June 14th. I just put my credential request in last night, so we will talk about that one.
Do you need my spelling of my name? It's M at symbol.
Hi, this is Bill Romanowski, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you. and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Fia with Remax Realty Unlimited, 813-494-4873. For 29 years, I've had the honor of helping families across Tampa Bay find their perfect homes. As a national ranked award-winning agent, I pride myself on having the best customer service and deep local knowledge. Whether you're buying and selling in Tampa Bay, I'll guide you every step of the way. Jennifer Fio, 813-494-4873. Let's make your next move your best move.
Step into the story at the Bay Area Renaissance Festival. Discover all new experiences for the whole family. Set sail for adventure at Buccaneer Bay. Master stealth and speed at the Knights Ninja Challenge. And create enchantment at the Wicked Wand Workshop. Cheer for thundering jousts. Explore shops and games. And bite into the legendary turkey legs. Save on tickets at participating Circle K stores. Or visit BayAreaRenFest.com. The Bay Area Renaissance Festival. Weekends, February 14th through March 29th. Huzzah!
Conveniently located in Pinellas Park, Cool Breeze AC is just one phone call away. Reach them at 727-954-3605. And their highly skilled and knowledgeable technicians will be at your service 24/7, ensuring your ultimate comfort all year round.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
This is Mike Allstott, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
I just wanted to see if you were going to start the show or not, or if you were going to just take that do-rag and buff up the car.
Look, this is my thug life, man. Now, you know how cool this is? Now I know why everybody wanted to do it. It feels good.
All right, the White House card. Yes, I'm not sure that there are many people that are excited.
It's kind of like this. It's kind of like the Sphere. It's like got all this hype and build up, and it's going to flatline and underwhelm. And I have. It feels like it's a setup for disaster.
I think if it wasn't promoted and talked about so much as it's going to be the greatest. And, you know, Dana says that all the time. This is the greatest. It's going to be the greatest. And yeah, the Sphere was, it was all right. 300 was okay. But if you don't put those expectations out, then you're not disappointed. Is it a big deal? The event is a big deal.
Right.
And I
where
think,
it is, the location is
exactly.
a big deal.
Exactly.
But,
is the main event good? I'm excited about the main event. And from what I understand, that literally happened like midnight Friday night.
Oh, really?
That Gaethje was told on Thursday he wasn't on the White House card. And I saw an interview with I can't think of his name, the agent down in Miami, the two brothers, that Topuria was off. Topuria was not going to be on this. You know, they couldn't come to terms, blah, 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 blah. They thought the other fight that was offered would have been bigger, would have brought in more money, but they were game to fight Gaethje. And it didn't get done until like first thing in the morning. So they were cutting that close. The co-main event, you know, Alex going up, gone, Bo Nickel on the card. I mean, everybody's like, what's up with Bo Nickel? Bo Nickel is being treated like he's a superstar. He's an up-and-comer.
Right.
And he's a decent fighter. Now, granted, he's, I believe, the first fight, and there's only like 5 or 6 fights. But the epic part is where it is. This is so epic, in my opinion, for people that think it's epic. Now, there's plenty of people that think it's a disgrace. And I was going to even ask Dana if the rumor is true that the fighters are going to be in the Oval Office, because that is disgraceful.
For sure.
Walking through the White House is one thing, but walking, you know, getting here, their hands taped, doing whatever they do in the back in the Oval Office, to me, is absolutely disrespectful, disgraceful. I'm not for it. I hate it. And I'll tell anyone that'll listen, it's awful. Having the fight on the grounds on the south lawn of the White House, I think is epic.
Sure.
And to me, and in the words of my former arch enemy, now closest friend, Shane Grossman, well, of course it's your opinion because you're the one giving it. It's no different than the Easter egg hunt. What's different of it?
I mean, you have violence on the front lawn of the White House. Like
You have violence coming out of the White House right now.
That's true. That's true.
You know, all the decisions, everything are made there, and then it goes out to the bases or whatever. So that's a week. But go ahead next.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that it's a private entity, as in the UFC. It's just a promotion. It's a business. It's a private sector business that's using a national monument as a arena. So I mean, you wouldn't see concerts there. You wouldn't see like Kiss, Aerosmith.
Don't rule it out.
I mean, I guess you could, but like using it as like an outdoor amphitheater or event center, you know, I think, you know, it kind of crosses that line. And you're right. I mean, look, in the back of the locker room of any fight, it's such a mess. The bloody gloves and the wraps and the sweat and like just the chaos of what's going on in the back. To do that inside the Oval Office, I think is wrong. I really hope they don't do that. I feel bad for some of the convention centers. I'm like, man, somebody has to clean up this mess. Like it's bad. I mean, you know how it is. Like it's all business, so they just trash it. You know, food everywhere. Like, you know, leaving bottles and blood and rags and tape, and it's just nuts.
I agree. I'm dead against it.
Now there's shots fired from the White House. No shots fired. Breaking news. No, I'm just kidding. From Ronda Rousey, the greatest female fighter of all time, according to Ronda Rousey.
Thank you for throwing that in. I thought you were going to be a troll and a tool and not put the last 5 words in. But go ahead.
The UFC is one of the worst places to go. Their champions are like Valentina are selling pictures of their on OnlyFans. They just got $7.7 billion. There's no reason they can't pay their athletes. Ronda Rousey.
How come Ronda didn't say all that when she was negotiating to come back? Why didn't she say all that when she was trying to have this fight, according to her, with the UFC? When Dana offered her the biggest this and the biggest that.
Well, I mean, Ronda and Valentina claps back, you know, so shots fired from the USA, but from Valentina, she fired back and says, it's 2026. Fighters using OnlyFans is just a new way to connect with fans. Looks like Ronda slept too long after her last fight in 2015.
Well, I guess some of the link is working. Look who just joined us.
Hey, there he is. Well,
maybe not.
Still not there.
Try again.
Closer. Yeah, try again.
Try again, Mike. You got to unmute yourself.
Check 1, 2.
Hey,
welcome
what a
to the
professional
show. You are. Welcome to the show, Mr. Professional.
Well, thank you. So, yeah, I was listening to what you guys were just talking about. And while I don't disagree entirely with Ronda, I think the way she delivered her message was a little Ronda Rousey-ish. You know what I mean?
I'm going to stick with the same thing I've said all along. If you have a problem with what you're being paid by the UFC, don't sign the contract.
That's easy
Go somewhere
to say,
else.
Randy. That's easy to say, but where are they going to go?
Exactly. So they're still making more there than they would anywhere else. You know.
That's correct, but anywhere else didn't get $7.7 billion from Paramount.
All right. Well, you stay in the room, Mike, but let's welcome to the program. I'm really excited about this, just so you know. So let's welcome to the program. Fighting this weekend and some interesting stories here, Stephen Asplund. Stephen, how are you?
Hi, guys. How you doing? I'm well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We appreciate your time. And I normally say that I do 15, 20 seconds of research because I don't want to learn a lot. No, seriously, I want it to come out in a conversation. And if it does, it does. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. So one of the first things, it's like, are you a football fan?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So part of your story is like being a rookie and winning the Super Bowl and how rare that is. And your first fight, you get a bonus. Talk about that. And the story of how you found out is even crazier than the bonus.
Man, first of all, just thank you guys for your time so much. Thank you for having me on. No, it's insane. I kind of goaded Sean into it at the weigh-ins just because I was like, man, I kept telling my dad all week, like, dude, this guy's a banger. Like, we have a chance to have, fight of the night potential. And I know we're on the prelims, but damn, if he meets me in the middle, we could do something for the fans. So when I saw Sean at the weigh-ins, I kind of talked a little stuff about, hey, why did you block me on Instagram and all that stuff? And then he ran with a little narrative. And I was just like, look, man, meet me in the middle. Let's scrap, and we could potentially change our lives forever. And he looked me up and down and he smiled and he was like, all right, man. And then when me and my dad took the shuttle home, I was like, there's no chance this fool's going to scrap with me. Like, not at all. He obliged. And with that, we were able to change both of our lives forever. We're at the bar kicking it, just enjoying the win. I'm not going to sit here and beg Dana or Mick or any of those guys for a bonus. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go out there and try to fight my heart out and see what happens. I'm talking to my teammate and brother, Tommy Peterson, just BSing. Then I get a call from my dad and he's like, hey man, did you hear yet? And he's with my cousin. My cousin's in the background. She's like, you won 50 grand. Just so loud. And then I look over because we're at the Palace Station and sports book pops up and it's like Steven Aspa versus Sean Sharaf, fight of the night. And it was just like, oh man, it's a dream come true for a little fat kid. You know what I mean? So it feels like such a vindication story for my youth and just perseverance, man. It's been such a beautiful story so far for me. So I'm grateful.
Well, and what's so rare about that, and Mike Strack has been covering the UFC for a long time. I've been covering it since UFC 1. And one of the things that I always complain about is if a main event is fight of the night and the first fight is main event, give it to the first fight of the night. The guy who's not making main event. And normally, it goes to the guys that don't. I mean, just looking at how you're acting, that 50 grand can and probably did change your life.
Quite literally, it changed my life for sure. It gave me a chance to restart on everything that I had, kind of holding me back. I'm 27 years old and I've had a lot of stuff that I've been trying to battle out of, especially, financial pits and stuff like that from being a dumb teenager. That being said, man, I'm just elated. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I get these opportunities, and this is another opportunity for another bonus. So let's run it.
So let me ask you this, and I'll let Mike or Matt if you have a question. So I know that you went by the fat Holloway. Now that you're not fat, are you still being called that?
Oh man, I feel like I'm. Oh goodness, thank you for saying that. But I look in the mirror, I'm like, I've said that pretty early on in my career, just because I don't know, I just like putting a pace on guys. People have been calling me Maximum Holloway the last couple of months, so I like it. I like that for sure. It's an honor to be even, named in the comparison. Now,
a lot of people have, and I know I said I was going to throw it to the other two, saying that by you losing that weight, but I don't want to say that your cardio is better and, because you were bigger and you carried that weight around and all that kind of stuff, but is your cardio better and all that stuff because you carried all that weight around?
I sure think so. I mean, I know I'm not, I don't know how candid I can be, but I was pretty heavily into marijuana and stuff. And just as a fat guy, that was kind of what motivated me to get in the gym and lose weight. A lot of people go the opposite route, the munchies and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I had those too. But I just have severe anxiety attacks. And I'd get in my head and I'd look at myself in the mirror and I'd be like, ooh, you're gross. Ooh, we got to work on this. Frank, will you go to the door? Sorry, guys. But I'm sorry. I got kind of sidetracked. What was your question?
It's all just about, your cardio and, being, the big guy, and now you're not the big guy. And
I used to hoop a lot when I was a big guy. So me and my buddies would run fives all the time, full court games, 5 people. And granted, I wasn't that fast, but I'd get up and down the court.
No.
Hey, I ran a 5'6" 40 at 420 pounds. I was all right. I was a big boy that could move.
I'm going to cut in. I want to know, did anybody try to drive up the middle with you standing there?
All the time. There's a crazy photo of me. I think it was like my junior year. there is a run option between the quarterback and the running back, and I didn't know who had the ball, so I just grabbed both of them. And I'm leaned back, and my arms were outstretched. I was a big boy.
All right, go ahead, Matt.
All right, so we'll stay on the cardio part. I mean, the cardio machine. I've heard you dubbed, but for a big guy in the heavyweight division, you know, like that kind of pace and that kind of endurance is a huge advantage because most of those guys can't last as long. So, what's your secret sauce? Like, what's your go-to for cardio?
Steroids. No, I'm just kidding. You can tell by my body, man. I ain't peeing hot. So, you know.
If you could please go to the restroom at 10 a.m. on Saturday, you will be tested.
I guess marijuana is a gateway drug. Look at that.
Well, you can also hide under the cage in the gym, like a la John Jones.
Hey, so I've heard, man. No, I mean, you know, honestly, I think it's just the people I work with. Thomas Train Peterson, Lawrence Phillips, Isaiah Gomez, Alvin Hines. I mean, these guys are all pretty grappling heavy. And we work in like a 15-by-10 room. It sucks for me. So I'm constantly grappling. And like that cardio, I think, is probably one of the biggest things. I think that's one of the main proponents to cardio. I feel like if I was just grappling the whole camp, I'd still be able to take guys into deep waters. That being said, there's a guy, Coach Kenny Ducelet. I think I'm butchering his name, but it's on Instagram. He hit up Thomas Peterson and kind of gave us like a little circuit to do, like 15 seconds of high intensity and then 30 seconds of coasting. So honestly, I just do that for like 15 to 25 minutes straight each time I'm in this like little sauna. They're not a sponsor, but shout out to my boy Destin and how it works, man. He set me up so I sit in a 130-degree sauna for, you know, anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes in a sweatsuit. Not even a sweatsuit, just a hoodie and sweatpants. And then I'll go as intense as I can on an Aerodyne bike for 15 seconds, coast for 30, and then the last 15 minutes are like mediocre intensity.
Steven, what are your thoughts on peptides have been the talk of a lot of bodybuilders and athletes. And they talk about how peptides help you recover quicker. Like I broke my ankle and I went on BPC 157 with something called TB 500, and it helped me heal faster. I think anyway, because it took me like 3 months before I could walk again after I broke my ankle. Man. I started taking these peptides and then it worked. But have you heard anything in the athletic circles about peptides?
For sure. I mean, it's so common nowadays. I mean, one of my boys, training partners, he's a peptide salesman, you know, and like, dude, I guarantee you there's heavyweights in the UFC doing steroids. There's guys everywhere in the UFC doing steroids. You know what I mean? It's an IQ test. It's not a and you know, I don't know how to beat that shit yet. So oh goodness, that stuff. I'm so sorry.
He said, no. You know that I'm a military veteran and I was on a Navy ship, and you said ship. It's all good.
You know, I mean, I'm not a professional athlete. However, you know, I dipped into testosterone as I got older. You know, and I went to one of my buddies who's a bodybuilder, and I bought it from him. And you know, it probably wasn't a smart thing for me to do because I had a heart attack 3 months later. But
oh goodness, man,
that's true. It's a true story. However,
you look good now. I'm glad you're doing well.
Thank you. I just feel like you know, there's, you know, as we get older, I'm 57 years old. So as we get older, our cardio is not as good. I just thought I was getting older. I had no idea that I had a blockage of 100% in my left ventricle and 95% in my right ventricle. And they put a stent in my right because they couldn't do anything about the 100% one because they said that my heart created its own bypass system. So the blood was still getting in there. But the other one that was 95%, they put a stent in there. 3 days later, Steven, it clotted and I had a heart attack. So I'm like, I wouldn't have even had a heart attack if I didn't get the stent. So, the stent.
Stop bringing Steven down. We're trying to be exciting here. You know, we don't want to.
Well, you know, he brought a roller coaster of emotions, guys.
Well,
I'm trying to help here.
He brought up steroids, so I'm just talking about when I tried to self-medicate with testosterone, and it didn't work out too well for me. Is what I'm trying to say.
All right, I'm going to bring it back another way. So when we first talked about the 50 grand, you lit up. Everything was great. Talk to me about your daughter.
Oh man, you're trying to get some emotion out of me today.
Well, there's a reason I wanted to bring it up. So, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Tell me about your daughter.
Man, my little girl, she's 4 years old and she's the light of my life. I've been fighting for custody of my daughter since she was born. And it's been an uphill battle consistently. And this 50 grand helped me make a lot of things square. You know what I mean? And sorry, it's tough.
I didn't mean to get you emotional. The reason I wanted to bring it up is because I don't know if you know this, but Knockout Radio is the longest running UFC show basically in the world. Started at the very beginning. Man. And I'd like to thank my guests, not that we're ending right away, but I always like to thank my guests with whoever my sponsors are at the time. And then I was able to pick up a really cool sponsor. They're called Fantasy Pets. And I'm able to send these fantasy pets. They're 3-dimensional kind of there. Matt has one that he's holding.
Oh my goodness, that's cool as heck.
So I want to send one to you for your daughter.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Seriously. It'll be in the mail next week, and in the private chat I put, please send me your address and shirt size, because I like to send these gifts. So let me send that to you.
That's so sweet of you guys, man. Thank you so much.
It's one thing to give the athletes something, for their time, and we very thankful that the athletes come on and talk to us, and sometimes I'm able to send their spouse or their partner, but sending to the kids, their dad or their mom is out training and doing this stuff. So it's just our way at Knockout Radio, to thank you for your time as well.
Thank you. That's beyond kind, man. Seriously. Thank you guys.
Steven, I got to empathize with you. I was divorced and had a hard time with my 2 daughters as well. Even getting them on a phone was a battle, and it takes a toll. And unfortunately, like you said, the 50 grand helped you. It's all about money. It's all about money. It doesn't, our women don't love us until the check clears. That's my motto. That's my motto. And, I'm the president of the He-Man Woman Haters Club these days.
Again, I'm going to cut you off. No, I'm cutting you off. That's over. I've been married 43 years without my wife. I'd be homeless.
Well, you're the exception to the rule, Randy.
I'm feeling that my fiance has been reining me in for the last years, man.
Exactly. All right, I want to
but I hear you.
I want to talk to you about something. I don't know if you saw this. Like I said, I like to do very, very little research, but when I was on social media, and I won't read the whole thing, but it says Steven Concrete Asplund is a professional UFC heavyweight fighter from Minnesota, known for his remarkable physical transformation and high-volume striking style. Most recently, on March 10th, 2026, he pulled off an upset victory over the favored Vitor Petrino at UFC Vegas 114. So I'm betting Back to the Future. I'm betting heavy. It's already said you won.
Hey man, everybody's saying this shit's scripted. I ain't got a script yet.
I don't know if you saw that, but I thought it was pretty funny.
I didn't. I've been trying so hard to stay off of social media on fight week this time around, because last time I put myself through hell, just looking at everything and freaking myself out. No, I tell everybody, man, bet the house on me. I believe in myself, and Vitor is a dangerous opponent, by far the most dangerous guy I've had to step in that cage with. But he's never seen his own blood before. He's going to try to grapple me way more than he tries to strike. I've made significant improvements. I know I look like crap because I lost to Denzel Freeman. And I got a lot of love for Denzel. I honestly just don't think he showed up that night. But, I'm ready to go rectify all those comments made about my grappling. I'm ready to go show the world that I belong here and that I belong in the top 15. This is a pretty shallow division for the most part, but I'm excited to go put on shows for the fans. And that's there's some bad blood behind this one. I mean, I don't have any animosity really towards Vitor, but he beat my big brother in October. And, in my opinion, Tommy was beating his ass in that fight and then fucked up in the last couple minutes.
He said trucked up.
Oh, gosh, I'm so good. Yeah, I said trucked up.
All right, remember that 50 grand? It's now down to 48.
Fine.
Exactly. All right, talk to us before we run out of time on how much enjoyment you get. A lot of fighters say, I don't necessarily enjoy the training, but I enjoy what's coming up on Saturday. Talk about the process and talk about how much fun it is for you to do this for a living.
Oh, man, this is the greatest sport in the world. Something is called to me about MMA since I was a kid. The primal, barbaric sport of beating the heck out of somebody and seeing who's the best that night. Can you take me out? Can I take you out? You're trying to take money out of my pocket and food off of my table. Can I do the same for you? And it's like, this is the ultimate test of competitiveness. Everything else is a team sport. It's not you versus somebody else. And nobody can save me in there. And I think that's the best part about this. I feel like a gladiator, and I get to hear all these people screaming my name at the end of these fights. Win, lose, or draw, my heart's on the canvas, man. I love this stuff. The adrenaline dump and the high. There's nothing like having thousands of people scream your name. And boy, do I miss fighting in front of a live crowd. So I'm excited that there's going to be some more people in the Meta Arena this weekend. I'm looking to put on some bloody brawl for the fans again. Second round TKO. Vitor's getting tired.
Let me ask you this. You said that you like hearing the chants. And I don't know. I kind of have a feeling that you'd like them just as much the boos as you do the cheers. Is that true? Are you?
I've been in hostile territory a couple of different times, and it's fun because I'm respectful. I don't like after the fact. I will never like Anthony Garasio is the only person I've ever been disrespectful to after any sort of thing like that when it came to a fight. But yeah, no, I mean it's all love until it's not. So I like shutting up the crowd, and I definitely like agitating them a little bit. I'm an idiot.
Randy, one more thing I want to ask Steve before we let him go. When I first started covering MMA in 2001, my boss, who ran Fox News Channel, said, "We're not doing this cage fighting stuff." But I interviewed Randy Couture, and Randy is so eloquent and he's so smart, he's so cerebral, and I get the same impression of you. And do you feel like people underestimate you because you're a fighter, and they underestimate your brain and your smarts? Because that's what happened with me when I was trying to interview fighters, and Roger Ailes said, "No, we're not going to do that." And then I interviewed Randy, and he said, "Are they all like that?" I said, "Yeah, they are." He goes, "Okay, you can go, you can cover it."
I probably don't help in the way I speak about myself, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean? And the way I feel about myself, it's just I'm just candid about how I am. I just speak about myself as an idiot a lot, and I'm not super articulate. I'm a high school dropout, brothers.
Dude, I don't get that at all from you. I think you are. I think you are articulate.
I appreciate that a lot. I try.
You didn't bring in a translator to speak English.
I got my brother over here. We're Neanderthals. I was drawing Peyton's, and he was just translating for me. So,
yeah, but that's the point. Most people don't know what a Neanderthal is.
I suppose. We almost went by the missing link for a while. My older brother kept telling me, he's like, "You're the missing link."
That's a great nickname.
A human. I was like, "No, I'm not doing that."
It is a good nickname, though.
Yeah, I did like it. I did for sure.
Now I'm thinking the missing link from wrestling. Did you ever see the missing link that was in wrestling?
I didn't see the missing link that was in wrestling. Whenabouts was that?
Before you were born.
Hey man, I'm a WWE head before I was born though. I love Superfly Snuka and all those guys and Animal and Hog. I'm huge into that. Well, used to be.
Well, we still are. I was big WCW.
Oh man. Yeah. No, I used to have all the video games. I'm not gonna lie, I still buy the game. I still buy the game every year.
I don't think we would be at war with Iran if the Iron Sheik was still alive. I mean,
no kidding.
I'm just saying, there's a better world back then.
I can't believe that there's people that, and I know this interview has gone way long, and we appreciate you hanging in there.
No, thank you guys, man. This just feels like kicking it with the boys. I appreciate this, seriously.
I hate getting involved in hate on the internet, but I'm so good at it. So people are arguing. They'll put up who is the greatest heel in the history of professional wrestling. If any person doesn't say the Iron Sheik, they're a moron because
he was so good.
Timing. He was so good at it.
He was good.
Don't forget the Junkyard Dog. The Junkyard Dog was a pretty good heel.
No, the Iron Sheik during the whole war and everything that was going on was classic. It was beautiful. And then Sergeant Slaughter is now involved.
Slaughter, yep.
Yeah, Sergeant Slaughter. I freaking hated that guy.
Well, who was Mr. Wonderful? Was that Ted DiBiase?
No, it was Paul Orndorff. But
oh yeah, he was a good trash. He was a good trash talker also.
The ironic thing, Steven, and then we're going to let you go, is Matt's mentor was Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan. And one of my closest friends was Randy Savage. So, we know a lot of the backstory. We know a lot of
that is so cool.
You want to see?
Oh my gosh!
I'm going to give you 10 seconds of really cool. After we hang up or we let you go, which maybe never, just so you know.
I'm okay with that.
Google my Survivor video, and that's all I'm going to say. Now, I've told you it's Randy Savage. So Randy Savage is in my Survivor video. And where do you see it? It's totally unbelievable.
I'm excited to check it out now.
What can the fans expect on Saturday at the Meta Apex?
I expect this guy to go for my legs, man. I'm going to be anti-wrestling for the first round, I'm assuming. I got to stay patient this time around. Vitor likes to kind of goad guys into them and then stifle their cadence. I'm going to stay patient. I don't, like you said, not too much research in the past. My fight style, the last 3 fights have been balls to the wall, kind of gunning for people. I love counter-striking. I like being patient. I like frustrating guys. I plan on opening this fool up and getting him angry and just having fun, enjoying my time in there. So expect some blood and expect another bonus-worthy performance.
Minus 2,000. And don't forget, it's already been stated that you're going to win. Jump into the private chat. Send me your address. I want to send you the package. I want to send your daughter, the fantasy pet, as well as a membership when you do get back out to Las Vegas to OsteoStrong.
Man, you guys are the freaking best, man. Thank you so much. Seriously.
And hold on. And I was chime in here real quick. Steven, I know that self-talk can be powerful. And I just want you to know from the bottom of our hearts, the three of us here, we're always a phone call away. If you ever believe in that nonsense, you tell yourself that you're not worthy enough or good enough. And you got 3 men that have lived life that are always in your corner, dog. So your authenticity, your passion, your genuine character, that's way better than a Rockefeller-centered education, dog. And you got us for life, man. So go out there Saturday, do what you do best, and go earn that paycheck.
That really meant a lot to me, man. For real. Thank you guys.
And Steven, just so you know, and a lot of times, like I believe I'm the only non-UFC employee that's allowed to broadcast live from the Apex. So like I was there last Wednesday. But what I'm saying is a lot of times when we make offers and stuff, especially when I'm at the Meta Apex, the fighter will turn to Nabi and kind of look at her. And Nabi will say, if Randy says it, believe it. So if there's anything you don't believe we've said to you today, ask Nabi, ask Chris Costello, and I'll reach out again and say, hey, I haven't heard from you. Let's meet up. Let's grab lunch, blah, blah, blah. So, again, you're one of us now. We're one of you.
Yep.
Welcome to the Knockout Radio team, dude. We love
thank you guys so much, bro. So much love, man. Thank you guys.
The missing link right there. Let's get in.
Saturday fucking night, baby. Let's run it.
All right,
Saturday night. Have a good night.
We were all laughing, so it didn't get out.
Right.
Jump into the private chat. Send me your address so I can make sure that stuff. Because if you don't send the address, I'm going to take another $2,000 from you and buy an airplane ticket and hand it to you at your house. So your daughter is going to get this dinosaur, I promise you. All right, let's go ahead and quick break. Coming to you live from wherever the hell we all are. This is Knockout Radio. We'll be right back.
What a great guy.
Thank you guys so much.
What a great guy.
This is Frank Harris with Randy Harris on Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds. From the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile, every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com. Rhino Cards, located at 406 11th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg, on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North.
Hey, this is Jenna Jameson, and you're on Knockout Radio with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back hanging out here from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. I didn't realize we were almost at the top of the hour, so we'll be breaking here again in a couple minutes. I guess getting a lot of feedback now. I don't know who's doing what there. What would your, Matt, your sister's, if you have a sister, which you do, husband's sister. Now, your sister's husband is your brother-in-law. So would that be a sister-in-law?
Sure.
Okay. So my sister-in-law's next-door neighbor passed away, I guess it was yesterday. And if you're a rock and roll star or rock and roll fan, it was Tommy DiCarlo, the lead singer of Boston. And I don't know if you know this, it was ironic, but it was the same day, not the same year, but the former lead singer of Boston took his own life. They both passed away on the same day.
Wow.
All right.
That's wild. No, he's only 60. He's only like 60 years old. I think he's only 60 years old.
Let's see if that's the problem. Yep, that was the problem.
But it's only he's only I think 60 years old.
Yeah, no, fairly young.
But you notice a lot of these guys are trying to reverse like the hands of time, right? Like the abuse and the drugs and the rock and roll and all the lifestyle. It was very hard on the human body, and so a lot of these guys are desperately trying to like buy back time. And but some things are just too far gone.
I think we just set a record. Now, when I had Gian Silva on after he beat the crap out of Bryce Harper, and I thanked Bryce Mitchell. Right. He could probably beat the crap out of Bryce Harper as well. You know that they're grappling in a tournament, I think, in Brazil. I think that's coming up in the next week or two.
I think so.
But when I thanked him, and then we talked about his wife and all that, he broke down, I think it was 2 or 3 times. And I think we just broke the record with Steven breaking down probably 4 times just now in the 20, 25 minutes that he was on. But what a super nice man.
Awesome.
And that's why, like I've said it numerous times, I try not to do a whole lot of research. If I can pick 1 or 2 things, and then you just have a conversation. And it's not about, every person talks about the fights. Well, what are you going to do? And talk about your grappling and and yeah, that helps promote it. But I think what helps promote fights and anything even more is getting to know or getting to dislike. It doesn't have to always, be good. I mean, that's why.
How can you not like Steven? I mean, how can you not love the guy? Just, like just authentic, vulnerable, passionate, hardworking, self-deprecating, like that's what Conan O'Brien built his whole career on, was making fun of himself, But the problem with combat sports is a lot of times we start to believe the things we say, even if it's a joke, like the way that the human spirit is, the body.
It's coming from the master.
Yeah. I mean, but you see a lot of like dark times in a lot of the combat sports.
All right, 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Brad Tavares coming up, inside the distance coming up. 1 more hour. Good stuff.
This is Franco Harris with Randy.
Of course. He's going to sign out. I'm going to sign out and start back up again.
Who said that, Mike?
Yeah. Well, Caleb called because Caleb's supposed to be starting to be back involved, but I can't have 6 people on.
Yeah. That Tupac video interview was good. I mean, he just had terrible lighting, but I guess it kind of added the mystique of being in the shadows and kind of like that whole, you know, not know who he is, like kind of like anonymous almost. But I thought that was a great interview. It was fun.
No, it was good. I wish
Tupac,
I wish we would have been able to see him. And
yeah,
we are still live on YouTube, but that's why I learned about the light. I'm
yeah.
going to now start sending lights to everybody.
And Tupac was a pizza guy. Both of them were.
They both were.
So look how much greatness came out of pizza.
Well, and a lot of bad stuff too.
I mean, I don't think so.
You.
I mean, I made pizza what it is today.
There you
I'm
go.
still
Again,
trying to save
I
people's
believe
lives.
in everything you say.
But oh, Mr. Pokey. Oh, Mr. Pokey. You gotta get down. I gotta go back on the radio. I know. People love dogs.
Not.
They do. Like, who doesn't love a golden? Who doesn't love this kind of? I mean, you have more fans. Like, I mean, look at Dave Portnoy. His Peaches, that dog has more followers and fans than we ever will.
Look at Herb Street.
Oh, he has the same thing. Oh, he's a golden retriever. Yeah, yeah. There's a golden retriever at Media Row this year. Do you want to go next year? Do you want to go to Los Angeles? Huh?
Yeah, that ain't going to happen unless you don't go.
You want to get discovered? You can be a service dog.
Get him out.
All right, go. See ya. I gotta go back to work, dude. Go pee on something. Go.
We are live on YouTube. I'm afraid to bang it out. Dead air on YouTube is never good.
Yeah. I can't wait to catch up with Brad Tavares.
You're an idiot.
What? You don't even know about that.
I don't know about
catch up.
Yeah, I
No,
know. You've already said it.
I tried to catch up with the Hater Cejudo last week, but I didn't make it. My Saturday did not go as planned, so I never even made it to the Cage Wars fight.
Well, I know you didn't have a ticket.
That doesn't stop me from going to play. I never had tickets. I just show up.
A line of storms stretches from Houston to Memphis. There's a warning from the United Nations Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination about what it calls the growing racist hate speech by President Trump. CBS's Allison Keyes reports.
In an urgent report, the watchdog cites the harmful stereotypes and the use of derogatory language targeting Hispanic, African, or Asian people. It says such people have been portrayed as criminals or as a burden by politicians and influential public figures at the highest level of the state party, particularly by its president.
This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world. I'm Tony. There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers. How are you? I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Hi, this is Bruce Buffer, the voice of the UFC Octagon, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Hi, we are back.
Another letter.
No, well, yeah, he's going to say that I didn't have authority to do it. But Bruce, it's you. Oh, I didn't know you were doing it. Bruce is a good guy. He's all right. He does his own business. He's opened up a massive card shop. I don't know if you've seen it. Oh, it's massive. And you see Tom Brady and Dana were opening up cards.
I did see
on
that.
the floor at UFC 326.
I suppose we should go back to 326 and talk about the winners and losers and your thoughts on Max Holloway receiving a black belt in jiu-jitsu after he got manhandled by Charles Oliveira for 25 minutes.
Well, I think they said that he got the black belt for defending all of the submission attempts.
I mean, does that
Did anybody
qualify you as a
expect
black
anything
belt?
different? Did anybody expect anything different? Plus, I'm going to say this. Why because of the way Charles won, or so many people saying that you should throw away the BMF belt. Doesn't it make him a BMF that he was able to single-handedly take him down and do whatever he wanted with him? He couldn't submit him because Max Holloway was the BMF. Yeah, I think he's getting a whole lot of crap, for things that he necessarily should be, because that's the type of fighter he is.
I think people want the BMF belt to be just two rock'em sock'em robots standing in the middle, trading punches. First one to go down loses. I think that's what they're wanting, is that draw the line in the sand.
Well, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be the first one that goes down loses, because if you remember Czech Congo, Pat Barry, Czech Congo went down first. He didn't go down last.
Oh wow, yeah. But speaking of something that keeps coming back, he'll go down and come back up again. Well, welcome back to the show, Mike Straka. Mike, welcome to the show. You there, buddy?
I'm here.
All right, there he is.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on.
Well, now you sound like you're in a bathroom basement, and it is still there.
At least
Whatever
the
it is,
hospital
it's
gown's
still
got
there.
nicer. Like that's a nice looking hospital gown. I mean, it's getting much better. So,
If it's not our feedback, it's somebody else's feedback.
it's not ours. It's got to be Mikey's.
No. So Brad Tavares coming up momentarily. He just checked in. He was getting. Why do guys, and we'll ask, and it's not just guys. Why do athletes like get haircuts and get all this stuff the week of a fight? They want to look good.
You're on TV. You're gonna be like fight photos are gonna be cemented forever. Like, if you get your hand raised, you do your photo with the team in the octagon. That picture is on your gym for 20, 30, 40 years. So
Not true. So maybe I should do that before I go. Maybe I should do that before I send in these photos for my credentials.
Our credentials.
You know how long my son's been telling me that? Dad, shave before you send in for the credential photo.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not a big deal for credentials, I don't think. Because you're not going to be cemented in history on the fight poster.
Not like the fully cleaned up Brad Tavares.
That's a guy that spends a lot of time in a chair. Look at that. Looking good, Brad.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
It's
Much
like
better than Mike Straka.
It's like AT&T. We hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how you been? It's been a few days since we last spoke.
Yeah. I'm good. Everything today is like the media day, so I knock out this interview with you guys, and then I got in-person media a little bit later this afternoon at the Apex. But this week is all about just, staying sharp and more so just weight management. All the work has been done already. All the preparation is done, and it's just, weight management now.
Well, I want to thank you for saying you just have this radio interview to knock out. That went over, knockout radio.
Pun intended.
You're a professional.
Pun intended.
I jumped on just to get a couple of these records, and I know you're aware of some of them, maybe not all of them, but they'll make a record for anything.
Yeah, they will.
You have the most this without throwing a right-handed punch. You have the most of that when you hit them 3 times with a left without the most decision this, the most. Do you laugh at this, or is it kind of cool that you're like, because you've had so many fights, you're at the top of everything?
It's you know what? Honestly, a lot of it is brought to my attention by the media. Like the media follows it more than anything. But I've just always laughed at American culture, mainly football. Like I'm a big football guy, right? So I love watching football. And bro, when you guys watch it, you guys know this. I'm sure you guys watch football. The stats they bring up is just like they will find a stat to fit anyone's narrative and make like something out of nothing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not too big of a stat guy. Like you said, I've never tried to be like a record holder or I want to be this record holder, that record holder. I want to hold this, hold that. God has blessed me enough, to allow me to obtain some of these records, but I don't pay much attention, if at all, to them.
So I always tell our guests, and I know I've told you this numerous times, I don't do a lot of research. I'd like to get one or two things, and then, we just have a conversation. I did not realize until this morning that you and I once were on an elevator at the same time.
Really?
Yes.
Did that elevator fall in Cleveland?
It did. It
You
did.
were in there?
I was in the elevator, and I believe, according to what I've been told by CB Dalloway and others in the elevator, that I was the last one to get off the elevator before it fell.
I'm going to go watch that video. As soon as I'm done with this interview, I'm going to go pull up that video I have the videos from in that elevator. That's crazy. Wait, so who were you with? You're with CB?
No, I was there as media, and I was in the hotel, and I just did the show or whatever, and then back then I would stay in the hotel.
Yeah, the Fighter Hotel.
The Fighter Hotel. I couldn't think of the word. That's why I stuttered. Yeah. Sorry. It was Fighters. Yeah, you guys are fighters. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I've always talked, about it, and I've talked to Ray about it numerous times. And yeah, so when I saw that, so since I wasn't on it when it finally was, and CB told me, his side of it, what was it like? And I know it was years ago, but it had to be crazy.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. I'm just glad it didn't fall from further. We had, it's probably our fault a little bit. We definitely overpacked that elevator.
That's why I got off.
Yeah, we overpacked it. There were so many of us in there. Verdum was in there. I was in there. And it's funny. So Maki Pitolo was there, but this is before he was in the UFC. He was actually there with Yancy Medeiros when Yancy was still in the UFC. And the craziest thing is that I didn't even realize that it was falling, but Eric Nixick actually realized it was falling, and they were playing like at the door. I think, who was it? Like somebody was like trying to keep like Maki out or in one way or the other, and then Eric noticed that it was kind of going and that the level was changing and the door wasn't closing, and he yanked Maki. Bro, it all worked out. Like God had protected us, but if he hadn't done that, bro, Maki would have got crushed like right in front of our eyes, which would have been devastating.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it. I don't remember who was in it. I just remembered, Ray and CB, but absolutely crazy. Give me your thoughts. I understand that Eric has said this will be his final fight. And I always say that I don't like when people say that before the fight, because it's like they're halfway out the door already. And I don't know if that's true. But, as the opponent hearing that, do you have to kind of block that out, all of those kind of thoughts?
No, not for me. I've always, no matter what anyone has gone through in life, I always prepare for the best version of that person. I don't care if they didn't train. I don't care if they had injuries. I don't care what happened to them. I'm preparing for the best Eric Anders that the world has ever seen. The best Eric Anders that has ever fought in the UFC. That's what I'm preparing for. I prepare for him to be in the best shape of his life. I prepare for him to be the strongest, the fastest, all of these things. So nothing that he does or says has any effect on me.
Before I throw it over to you, Matt, going back just for a second for all of these lists of records, is your plans to extend so it's no more tied and it's no more, you're one more than Bisping, to make it like Pete Rose's hit record, that it'll be so unattainable that some of these will never be broken?
Oh, definitely. It would be cool. But again, it's all in God's plan. If that's his will for me, then it will be done.
Go ahead, Matt.
All right, Brad. So, as you're talking about being prepared and show prep, Randy doesn't do much. I just put on to ChatGPT about you. And I didn't know that you had a ketchup fetish. I didn't know you have a love. So I have this ketchup bottle. It's a phone. So my question is, not only that you eat ketchup with your eggs, you eat it with, according to this, everything that you actually drive to 7-Eleven just to get packets of ketchup.
Yep. And I've done that before.
Here's my question. So you're on the elevator, the phone's on the elevator, you got one call to one person. It's your last moment on earth. Who gets that phone call?
Who gets that phone call? Shucks. I would have to call my wife. Call my wife. And you know what? I would be hoping that she actually answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not blown off.
Yeah, like
yeah.
not no, like she's so busy all the time that her phone might not be near her or whatever. But yeah, my last call would definitely be to my wife, and I would hope to speak to her, and hopefully my kids are out of school and I can speak to them too. But yeah, definitely, because my kids don't have phones yet, so yeah, it would have to be my wife.
How old are your children?
I have 2 girls. One is 8 and one is 4.
I need you to talk to my son because he's letting his 4. Well, she's 5 now. She's had a phone since she's 4 and knows how to use it. That's crazy to me.
So my daughters have iPads, but it doesn't like travel with, like, it doesn't go with them to school and whatnot. And it's funny because even my 4-year-old, she knows how to like FaceTime my mom. So she'll like, oh, I'm gonna call grandma. So she knows how to do that. And then my nephew, she loves calling her cousin, and half the time he's in school and whatnot. So she ends up calling his mom, and and then they just end up talking, and she's like, where's Tyson? And she's like, oh, he's not here. And then my daughter would just hang up the FaceTime. Where's Tyson? Oh, he's not here. Boom, she'll just press the red button. I'm like, sorry, you cannot do that. You have to tell people bye. You have to wait till they say bye. Okay.
That's awesome.
Well, maybe you could get her a phone like this, and she could call. And ironically, we were free as people when the phone was anchored to the wall.
Right.
Now we're mobile, but we're always attached to alerts and connected, and never really get that decompression from social media.
That is so true. That is funny that the way that works out, right? Like you have a mobile phone, but now you're always connected.
Yeah.
But when you had a phone that was actually physically connected, you had the freedom. You didn't have to worry about it.
But did you really have the freedom, because you had those damn beepers? So as soon as the beeper went off, you had to pull over, right? I don't know about you, but I couldn't wait to get home or get where I had to pull over, put that quarter in, and make the phone call.
Bro, it's funny because I remember, so I never had my own pager, but my mom had one. And then some days she would give it to me in case, like this was all pre-cell phone days, right? In case you have to get in touch with me, she would be like, okay, when I paid you, make sure you're ready to get picked up. But I'll be like, okay, cool. And I remember wearing that thing clipped to my hip in middle school.
Yeah.
And I felt cool. I was like, yeah, I got a pager.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was cool.
Let me ask you this. You're at Extreme Couture, and every time I'm in town to cover fights, I pop in there, and all the fighters that come in and out. Has Eric Anders ever been in the gym, been in the gym at the same time as you? Have you guys ever worked out together?
Yeah. Years ago. He hasn't been in recently to my knowledge, or we haven't trained together in some years. But yeah, years ago he stayed in. He was here for a few weeks or so training with us. I got no ill will towards Eric. He and I are very cool. We're friendly. We're like, we're not good friends or anything, but we're friendly. I have no bad blood towards the dude, but at the end of the day, this is what we do. We signed to fight each other, and on Saturday, at least when that bell rings, that friendship is ended.
So it's similar. Are you aware what just happened at the World Baseball Classic with USA and Mexico? Did you see what happened?
I have no idea.
All right. So 2 teammates that play in Seattle together.
Okay.
One is the catcher. He was the big darling last year. He won the home run derby, Cal Raleigh. And Randy, how do you say his last name, Matt?
Rosarina.
All right. Played for the Tampa Bay team, got traded to Seattle. So they're teammates in Seattle. Randy comes up to bat. He plays for Mexico. He goes to shake hands with his teammate in Seattle, and his teammate's like, dude, we're not friends. Don't talk to me. I'm like, to me, that's crazy, only because they are teammates. But I think that was taking it, a little bit too far. Is it difficult to kind of turn it on and off? I mean, you're cordial, but now you're going to fight. And this is the way the UFC used to be, where once the fight's on, and then once it's off, you're back to being, hey, see you later.
Yeah, no, I don't think I know early on in my career, it was, I would say, I think it was harder for me because, and I'm talking about not my UFC career, my actual fighting career, because mentally I used to take things so much more personally. But that was because I don't come from like a martial arts competition background. I never wrestled, I never boxed or did kickboxing. So I never knew what that was. I'm literally from a street fighting background. And everybody I got into a street fight with was never my friend until after. Like some of the dudes that I fought with, we just had this mutual respect. We was like, okay, you know, like you said you was gonna show up, we was gonna fight, and that was that. We shook hands and we were friends after that, but always after the fact. It was the fight itself that gained the respect. Much like people that I fought in the UFC, you know, like I've become friends with them after the fact because we shared that time punching each other in the face. But early on, it was very mental for me where I was like, oh, I hate this guy. You know what I used to always think about? You guys remember the movie The Program? Alvin
Yeah.
Mack?
Uh-huh.
Remember how Alvin Mack, was that his name? Alvin Mack? I'm pretty sure that was. When he used to like get hyped up, he was the linebacker looking across the line. He'd be like, yo, you think I don't remember you? You did this to my mom. You did this to my sister. You stole this. You stole that. I literally like would picture that when I was young, 18, 19, and I would be in the back shadow boxing, getting ready and thinking about this dude. And then when I got in the Ultimate Fighter, everybody was my friend. We lived together and we fought each other. And I ended up fighting my teammates at the end. So it it changed it for me there. And then I was like, oh, okay, now I get it where how you can put that aside and then it's business. So now fast forward all these years, I've been doing it all these years. No, it's not difficult for me. Like I this is what we signed up to do.
All right, so Brad, so before you came on today, we had Tupac Shakur's real life brother Mo on. That's why I did my
Okay.
bandana, my UFC bandana in the Tupac style. But he confirmed what I already knew. But Pac and Mo Shakur were both pizza guys. So does
Okay.
ketchup belong on pizza?
Oh, I love ketchup. I have never ever once put ketchup on pizza. I I don't think.
Because
No, I don't.
In Brazil they do. Like they have
Do they?
mayonnaise. They put mayonnaise. They put ketchup on their pizza. So I think being the king of ketchup, I think you got to try it, man.
I mean, tomato sauce, like if it's a red sauce pizza, that's kind of like ketchup already, kind of.
Exactly.
Ketchup is a little sweet. You know what? For you guys, I am definitely after the fight when I can have a slice of pizza, I'm gonna have it with some ketchup. You know, actually, now that I think about it, I probably have dipped pizza in ketchup, and there was no like epiphany there, so I never did it. Ranch and pizza is my thing.
Yeah, my
Like
daughter does that too.
All right.
I'm almost as bad when it comes to ranch and pizza as I am with ketchup, but not as bad. So if I have pizza at the house and I have no ranch dressing, I'm upset a little bit, but I won't go to 7-Eleven to get me some ranch. But
All
if I
right, well,
make me eggs and rice and I have no ketchup, I'm 100% going to 7-Eleven to get me ketchup.
after you try it, call back to the radio show and let's catch up and let's hear how
Let's
it goes.
catch up.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm going to throw out. So I got two questions. One, I don't remember. Dementia's an awful thing. Have I sent the fantasy pets for your kids?
The fantasy pets, was it
Those three-dimensional
like
dinosaurs?
Like these right here, Brad. Like the three-dimensional dinosaurs.
I
You
have
would know.
dementia too. I
Okay.
have dementia too.
All right. Well, the beauty is, since neither one of us remember, how many children do you have?
Two.
All right. So I'm putting down. I'm going to have 2 sent next week because
Okay, perfect.
I always like sending thank you gifts. But since I run the show and Matt does what he's told, I'm going to have him send you that catch-up phone. You deserve to have that catch-up phone. So I'm going to
I
have
don't want to
Matt
take
send
your
it.
ketchup
Yeah.
phone.
I got more. I got
Go
a
get
Bud
another
Light can.
All
I got
right,
a race
cool.
car. I got a football. Look, this is the greatest receiver in the NFL history, and Jerry Rice or whoever is number 2. But number 1 is the home phone from Sports Illustrated.
It's a phone.
Let's go. So you collect phones.
I collect them.
Now
Yeah.
every time I look at a phone, I'm gonna think of you.
Oh.
Call me. Call me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I wonder if Randy got this phone.
Next time you're in a,
I wonder if Matt has this phone. Wait, you collect phones too, Randy? No?
No, I don't. No.
Oh, okay.
but next time you're in an elevator that collapses, get the phone and call me. We'll come get you.
Before we let you go, what do you collect?
Collect. Maybe like guns and knives. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm really a collector of anything. Yeah, there's nothing that I like. No, I'm not one of those. Like, I have a friend that is like super into watches. That same friend also collects Swiss Army knives, which is super random to me. Yeah, I'm not really a collector. I don't think. No, not really.
No cards, no movie posters, nothing.
He just collects wins. He collects records in the UFC.
I have random like things like I have a movie poster of my favorite movie in my house, but it's not like, oh, I'm out there collecting every single poster of every movie I've ever loved. No, I'm not really a collector.
All right. Well, I was going to try to pick up something, but if you don't collect anything, I don't know what to buy you. So think about it for you.
I collect gold chains. So if you see one you want to get me, there we go.
All right.
There we go.
Brad, as always, thank you for your time. I'll text you later to get your address so that I can get those dinosaurs sent to your kids.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for always having me.
I appreciate you always answering the phone when we call.
Always, brother.
Have fun, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Talk soon. Thank you.
That is, let's move him out of here. Brad Tavares, what a good dude. And when it appeared like we were having some issues with the link, I'm like, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you check it? You know, that's what I love about this. It's not, and I always say this, and I know we're going to hit this break in a second. It's not, I met Brad or I met Michael Pittman or I met because what they do and what we do. But these are the guys that have kept me in this business for as long as it has, you know, because you form these relationships who stop on a dime. Sure, what do you need? Sure, I'll do it right now. So what I'm going to do right now is hit the break that we're over on. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone.
What's up, Florida? This is Sam Madison of the New York Giants, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Fia with Remax Realty Unlimited, 813-494-4873. For 29 years, I've had the honor of helping families across Tampa Bay find their perfect homes. As a national ranked award-winning agent, I pride myself on having the best customer service and deep local knowledge. Whether you're buying and selling in Tampa Bay, I'll guide you every step of the way. Jennifer Fio, 813-494-4873. Let's make your next move your best move.
Step into the story at the Bay Area Renaissance Festival. Discover all new experiences for the whole family. Set sail for adventure at Buccaneer Bay. Master stealth and speed at the Knights Ninja Challenge. And create enchantment at the Wicked Wand Workshop. Cheer for thundering jousts. Explore shops and games. And bite into the legendary turkey legs. Save on tickets at participating Circle K stores. Or visit BayAreaRenFest.com. The Bay Area Renaissance Festival. Weekends February 14th through March 29th. Huzzah!
Conveniently located in Pinellas Park, Cool Breeze AC is just one phone call away. Reach them at 727-954-3605. And their highly skilled and knowledgeable technicians will be at your service 24/7, ensuring your ultimate comfort all year round.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
This is Chuck the Iceman Liddell, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. Matt from his dungeon. And look what arrived today at the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. Can you see
Okay.
that, Matthew? Maybe if you look, you might notice.
Yeah, what is that? What, Girl
see?
Scout cookies?
It is. It is
is.
my favorite Do-si-dos. I got 4 boxes of them, and I'm going to have a bite right now. These are
All
outstanding.
right.
I'm not a big
Well,
thin man. I'm not a thin man.
Yeah. No, I don't really eat that stuff anymore. Well, I
don't eat
used
it
to look
any
forward-
less.
I used to look forward to it, but I got breaking news off the desk of Rob Kahn. Maybe you've heard of Rob Kahn.
Well aware of Rob.
Rob Kahn, the first black belt in America, first American to earn a black belt from the Gracie lineage, has announced that Nate Diaz.
Hold on. You don't know if that's true. He is the first black belt under Hoist Gracie.
Okay.
Just saying, there's 4,212 Gracies,
Right.
so you
Right.
can't say under the lineage of Gracie. It's under Hoist.
But I thought he had the first American status. I thought he was the first American to achieve it.
All I know is he's the first American to receive a black belt under Hoist.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's not the first American. I don't know. I just know that he's the first American under Hoist.
Well, I don't know what number Nate Diaz is, but I know on the 14th of March, which is Saturday, you have a chance. I have a chance. We all have a chance to learn jiu-jitsu and sparring from Nate Diaz in Oakland, Florida, somewhere outside of Orlando. And $100 non-member, $100 spectator, $85 member, and cash only. So make sure you bring your dirty paper with you. But you can go do a no gi or a full gi seminar with Nate Diaz. Number of black belt achieved unknown. Or I don't know if Nate is actually a black belt. But in the UFC, they just give you a black belt after you fight and lose, apparently.
Hold on. Before we bring Jared in for Inside the Distance, the UFC didn't give anybody a black belt. The UFC didn't give
Max Holloway just received a black belt after losing to Oliveira. How do you?
Right, but not from the UFC. The UFC didn't do it.
Well, should he have given it away? Should he be like
Maybe his pants were falling down and he needed the belt. Come on.
I mean, I don't know, but like it seems like a lot of UFC fighters after a fight they earn a belt, which has nothing to do with the fight they just did.
I don't recall. I'm sure it has happened. I don't recall somebody getting their black belt after losing.
Right, that's wild.
It is kind of crazy. What else is wild? Let's find out how Jared did in Inside the Distance last week.
What's up, fellas?
How are you?
How we doing? Good.
I'm going to give you a little inside scoop before you give any of your picks for this week.
Yeah.
Okay. We just had a really cool conversation with Stephen Concrete Asplund.
Yeah.
Okay. Asplund. Really nice dude. We only had him break down and cry about 3 or 4 times. Very emotional. He is known as the Fat Max Holloway, even though he's not fat anymore because he lost 250 some pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I want to read something to you that I found online when I Googled him. Okay.
Let's
now
hear it.
today's Wednesday. We're Thursday, Friday. We're 3.5 days, 4 days before his fight. This is what was on. Stephen Concrete Asplund is a professional UFC heavyweight fighter from Minnesota, known for his remarkable physical transformation and high-volume striking style. Most recently, on March 10th, 2026, he pulled off an upset victory over the favored Vitor Petrino at UFC Vegas 114.
A little fortune telling. Where did that come from?
Now, March 10th might have been. I took it as meaning March 10th is Saturday. It's not because today's March 11th. But yeah, they're already predicting a victory. I'm betting. Let me see. What do you call it? A unit. I'm betting 1 unit on my good friend Concrete for Saturday. 1 unit.
Hey, I've done that before. I don't know if it's I think it's because they're all using AI at this point. A lot of these either search engines or wherever the articles are being produced from. So I think it's just getting mixed up on dates a lot of times. And it turns a prediction into a result. So I've seen that multiple times.
Oh, have you really?
Yeah, and sometimes I take it the same way. I'm like, maybe this is a sign that I should bet it. So
well, they do it. They do it with the crypto. They do it with the Simpsons. How they predict everything in the Simpsons before it happens. So
We can get into conspiracies next time.
There's cryptocurrencies. There's one right now called Strategic Oil Supply. It's supposed to hit $1 by the 15th, according to The Simpsons. And so it's a cryptocurrency. So I threw $50 at it just to see what happens, because if it goes to, $1, I make $5,000.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when you see it and if you don't take it, then it happens. You're like, I missed my sign.
Right.
So yeah.
Exactly.
Two things before we get into Inside the Distance. One, I do still have some tickets to give away for the Renaissance Festival. There are a couple more weekends, so you want to take advantage of that. We have 2 VIP packages still to give away. I believe that I will be headed out there a week from Saturday. So if you want to avoid me, pick any weekend other than next Saturday, and that'll work out. As well as I did forget to mention on air, but I did text Brad Tavares, who was just on, that he also will be receiving a free membership to Austrio Strong, our good friend John D. in Las Vegas. And since he's based out of Las Vegas, hopefully he will take advantage of that. Okay.
Very nice.
John XD. You forgot the X.
Well, the X is silent.
Exhibit. No, that's the K is silent. Knockout Radio. The K is silent. But speaking of silent, the Buccaneer fans are pretty quiet right now because they just lost Mike Evans to the 49ers. So what would the bet pay on 49ers winning the Super Bowl next year? Because I like the storyline. They didn't win it in their home stadium, but now they're going to win it in their home state in LA down the road because they added number 13, Magic Mike. So what are the odds?
First of all, they didn't add number 13. They added number 3. Second of all, Jared is a MMA combat prognosticator.
Hey, I barely get all these all the research done for this, so
Exactly.
you can't throw that at me.
Biggest surprise from last week's 326.
Man, there's a couple decent performances, I thought. Biggest surprise would probably be Rodolfo Bellato. I did not see that coming. It was a pretty crazy knockout there. I mean, we can talk about the main event. I did not see it going that way whatsoever. Everything I talked about, everything I wrote down, everything I looked at, it did not have Charles being that dominant. I think we all knew he could do it, but I did not see it happening. So
I bought into that Charles was going to stand.
Yeah, I think we all did.
He made the comment, if he points to the center, I'm going to be in the center.
Yeah.
But, looking back in hindsight, 2020, all that stuff, what else was Charles going to do?
Yeah,
he was going to, and this is what I've given George Gugel, my good friend, 47-degree black belt, Rich Franklin's jiu-jitsu trainer back in the day. And he would always come to me, and I've told this story numerous times. He'd go out to fight. He'd lose the fight. I'd see him in the back, and he's like, dude, I'm sorry. No, you're not sorry. Don't stand with a stand-up fighter. Take him to the ground and do what you're best at. And I fell into it because it was so obvious that if he took Max down, there was no way Max was going to win that fight.
Yeah. Hindsight 2020 is always. Sure. There was rumors that Charles was saying maybe for press conferences and stuff like that he was going to stand and bang, but behind the scenes, everyone was saying that he was just going to go out there and win the fight, and that's what he did. I think his parents were here for the first time, or his family was here for the first time in the States watching him fight. So the last thing you want to do is play somebody else's game and get laid out. So, yeah. So way it goes.
Nope, for sure. Well, then let's move ahead. We typically run out of time, so let's try to get started this weekend back at the Meta Apex. Anything glaring sticks out for you?
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about the card for a minute. I think it's a fun card. I always start with that. It's not one of my favorites as far as
we'll talk about the White House in a minute.
Yeah, right.
That's
a fun one too.
Right.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. No, just as far as like name value goes, stuff like that. There's some names that some people might not recognize on this card, but quite a few Dana White Contender Series prospects that are coming through. A couple, 2 or 3 fight early prospects coming through as well. So it's a good card. It's a good betting card. A lot of times we like these because there's a lot of question marks with fighters. And there's some lines that I think are a little farther apart than they should be. So I think there'll be some places to take some underdogs. But overall, it's an Apex card. I think it rates up there with the typical Apex card. But let's roll through. is there a fight you want to start on? You want me to take it?
Yeah, you take it. This is your segment. Matt,
All
you
right.
got a question? Like you really have looked at this weekend's card?
I have a question. So I looked up the odds of the 49ers winning the Super Bowl 61 next year. And so I don't understand the numbers here because it says on the Action Network plus 1,600 odd, implied minus 5.9%. DraftKings plus 1,700, Caesars plus 1,400, FanDuel plus 1,800. So what does that mean? If I bet, let's call it $100, am I going to win 1,600 or am I
Correct.
going to, that's
Yeah.
the way it works?
That's it. Yeah. Plus 1,600, for instance, would be $100 bet would be $1,600.
I
yeah.
like the odds. That's a good payoff if you can.
Yeah, those are long shots, man. Those are kind of shots in the dark, but they're nice to carry a ticket like that if they're contenders.
Because Randy said that Mike Evans can be that difference maker that could get the 49ers over the hump and make them a world champion. Well, I guess North American champion, but they could win the Super Bowl next year in their home state with Mike Evans on the roster. So I think I'm gonna throw some money at it. I think I'm gonna throw. So do you have a site that I could go to? Do we have a code, a link? Can I bet through you? How does it work?
No. I mean, we're in Florida, so it's the only legal place you could bet is Hard Rock.
Okay.
And you don't even have to leave your house or your car. Do it online.
I can refer you. That's all I got is a referral.
Well, I'll be there Friday night for the CFFC at the Hard Rock Casino. So
nice.
I'll let everybody know that I know you, and maybe we'll.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do while you're working as a licensed, badged commissioner. You want to be plugging gambling. And
I'm not Pete Rose. I'm not betting on fighting. I'm betting on football. It's a different sport.
It is at the Hard Rock, so maybe this is the one time you could. But
there we go. I'm not betting on the fighters and the fights itself. I'm betting on football while I'm at the Hard Rock.
All right. So let's look at the card. Which one do you want to start with there, Jared?
Yeah. So there's a few in the beginning that a lot of people aren't going to know. So I'm going to go to a couple that with some names that we know. I'll start with Chris Curtis and Mitabek Orlabai. So this is a welterweight fight. I think everyone's pretty familiar with Chris Curtis at this point. This is a fight that Curtis has been fighting up a weight class. He's coming back down to, I believe, welterweight for this fight. Orlabai, if you guys have seen, he's been in multiple just back and forth brawls at this point. The guy is as tough as they come. He's a well-rounded fighter. He has very good ground game, good wrestling, strong power. I mean, he carries a lot of power. He throws. I mean, he's not scared to get in a firefight. So I think this is a fun matchup, and I think it's going to be one of the better fights to kind of get this card going. I see Orlabai taking this one. Personally, I think Curtis is at that point where he's, dropping down on weight. I don't like that for him at this point. I think he'd be much better where he's been fighting personally. So I think this is kind of I don't want to say desperate, but I think it is a little desperate for him to drop back down and try to have that advantage again, where I think it can compromise him and his durability here. Even though he's known as a very tough fighter and has some of the best takedown defense, as we know, he trains with Sean Strickland, or he has.
He used to.
I don't know if they've made up yet, but I see this being a really fun fight, and I like just to kick it off, to go with the name, I like Inside the Distance for Orlabai. I think he starts to break him down. I think this is going to be a really, really fun fight to get the card going. It's not the first fight, but I think it's really when it starts to pick up some momentum here.
Let's talk about the next one, and then we'll hit our final break. The guest that just left us, Brad Tavares, taking on Eric Anders, who has said this could be his last fight. And then I've heard, well, if he gets a contract, it won't be his last fight.
Yeah,
so,
that's how I kind of read this. I mean, I can see that kind of from both sides here. I mean, we got two veterans. I'll be honest, it's not one of the fights that stick out to me on this card. I think that they're very similar as fighters. I think they both kind of have hung around. I don't want to use the word gatekeeper because everyone has their own opinion on gatekeepers, but they kind of are in that like upper echelon of the weight class there. If you get past them, you're probably a pretty good prospect kind of thing. So I'm leaning on the side of Eric Anders on this. I think that when it comes to a fight that's this closely matched up, I'm going to take the guy that has a little bit more power behind his punch. I think that it's possible that he can land that big one here. I think Tavares has always had the cleaner footwork. I think he's lighter on his feet. I think, I might even go to say he's a more well-rounded fighter. But I think when it comes to a matchup like this, I think that one punch could change it. And I've seen, I've seen them. They've been better. They've had more potential in the past than they do now. So just trying to be politically correct here. I don't see this as too exciting of a fight. I probably see it going to decision, but if there is a finish of some sort, I see it coming from the Anders side.
Do you look at sometimes who they have fought, whether they beat them, they've not? In the case of Brad Tavares, he beat Chris Weidman. He beat Gerald Meerschaert.
Yeah.
Lost, to some people not as high up, but beat some pretty, talented people. Did lose to the eventual champion in Dreykus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, we kind of do MMA math is what they call it, right? So if you start saying, but this fighter beat this guy, this fighter lost to this guy, so that means this fighter must be better than this fighter. So I don't always take it into consideration. I do at times. Of course, it's part of the data that you want to download. But I think Tavares got Weidman at a pretty interesting time of his career. I think I haven't seen too many very impressive wins that stand out on paper for me. So that's why I don't let it sway this decision very much on my side. But either way, I see this as a toss-up. I'm just leaning the Anders side, and I see more finishing potential. So I'm really weighing this on finishing potential. It can be a decision either way, but if I had to pick on the finishing side, I would go Anders.
Before we go to the break and I eat another one of these Do-si-do Girl Scout peanut butter cookies, anything you got, Matt?
No, I'm just going to place a bet on Friday night and try not to. What's the over-under? I get fired from the commission for betting on non-fighting on Friday night.
Well, hold on. Let me check him real quick and let him know you're going to do it, and then we'll find out. I'll ask him. I'll ask him the over-under, and then we'll know. I don't see nothing wrong with it. The problem is, I think people get a misconception. Well, if you're gambling, then there's this, and it's perceived, which I think is ridiculous. But
it brings up a valid point though, because I work for the state of Florida and through the commission, our time card starts the moment we leave our house. So we actually are paid and on state time from the moment we leave our driveway to the event center and then all the way back to our house.
That explains why you put on your application that you live in Cuba.
Correct. Yeah. So it's the furthest away I can. But if you stopped and you bet on baseball or anything on your way to work or on the way home,
you're on the clock.
You're technically on the clock from the state of Florida.
Right.
So it would be, if you stopped and played the lottery and won a jackpot and bought an island like Epstein, then they might be able to say, no, you're not entitled to that money because you were working and gambling's illegal while on the clock.
All right. Since that has nothing to do with what I asked, let's go hit our final break of the afternoon, and then we'll finish up with Inside the Distance. We'll be right back.
Hey, hi, this is Mike Schmidt. You're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds, from the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile. Every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com. Rhino Cards, located at 406 11th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg, on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Reggie Bush, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Hi, we are back getting ready to close out today's show, coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. Matt out, Jared inside the distance. Main event of the prelim card, Charles Johnson was scheduled to be on the show. We had some issues, so we apologize for that, taking on Bruno Silva.
Yeah. So this is very similar. I don't know if you remember, we talked about it last week with Cody Brundage. This is the same situation here. So Charles Johnson is coming back pretty quick, a little quicker than I would like. He got TKO'd. It seemed like he kind of got skimmed across the head or something like that and knocked out his equilibrium. So it's not like one of those vicious KOs where somebody's bouncing back quick after getting clean cocked out completely. But he's coming back quick. He's facing Bruno Silva, who's a very talented fighter in this division as well. And the last time I said I didn't like how quickly he came back, and that's kind of why I was leaning more towards Dante Johnson for the Brundage fight. But for this one, I do like Charles here. So I like Charles Johnson. I think this is an opportunity for him to get the bad taste out of his mouth. And I think the fight just didn't go his way, of course. And I think he had the skills to make that fight a lot more competitive than he did. And here I think he does as well. So I think this is a great revenge win for him.
Before we move to the main card, let's go back just for a second to last week, and we'll try to fly through this so we can briefly touch on the White House card. What were your thoughts when the betting kind of went a little haywire on the Michael Johnson fight again? Because he was involved in what happened in January, and in no way do I think Michael Johnson, was involved and blah, 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 but it's just kind of weird that it was him again.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it anymore. It's starting to, again, I mean, we've talked about this so many times. It's like sometimes people blow it out of proportion here. They'll say the lines swing like this all the time. I mean, we see line swings all the time. Some people wait to the last minute to bet people, and sometimes it's those big bettors that start moving lines around. So I don't know. I really don't know what to think about this. I mean, he started off good in the fight. I mean, all I can think of is maybe there's some rumors circulating that he wants out of the game or something like that. I mean, he was kind of just making that last run, or maybe there is an injury that's kind of just hanging around that some people are aware of, but I don't know. I mean, that was a violent KO it was a violent KO. Yeah,
no, for sure. But, well, and we'll just one more comment on this, and then, like I said, as always, we're going to run out of time. You need to call in 5 hours early, for us to get everything done.
I know.
Let's say he was injured, and I don't think he was. Well, if his mind wasn't in it, that's different. But whatever an injury could have been wouldn't have changed that brutal knockout.
No.
Landed perfectly, and people are trying to take away from Drew and what he did, and that's unfair.
I agree. Yeah, you can't take the win away. I mean, Dober looked awesome. I mean, we all knew it was going to be one of them falling down, and it just happened to be Drew landing the big shot that night. But no, I don't think it takes away the win from him. I think it clearly changed. It's a factor in the fight for sure. And if he was a little slower than usual or just not able to keep his stamina up or something, but I really don't know, but I think there needs to be a little bit more transparency or something from the UFC. Definitely, there's so much money floating around these days on these fights. It's bound to be fixed to some degree at some point. I mean, we're seeing it in almost so many sports now. So I don't know.
Let's talk about the opening fight on the main card. Stephen Asplund was on earlier. Talk about this.
Yeah, I was excited to hear he was on the show today. I didn't know he was coming. I like him in this spot a lot. I mean, the line has him lined as an underdog. He's about a plus 200 right now. I think he's got some of the fastest hands in the heavyweight division, which is crazy to say. I mean, you look at the dude, and optics wise, you're like, he can't be that quick or that good of an athlete, but he really is. I'm really impressed with him. And in my notes, I have an ex-light heavyweight fighter versus ex-superweight fighter or super heavyweight fighter, because we all know that Vitor Petrino started off in light heavyweight. Asplund has lost close to 250 pounds or something like that. So he's carrying some power, man. This dude is dangerous, and his hands are fast. And I think that in this scenario, I really see him putting it on Petrino. I think as long as he can, kind of mitigate that ground game, I think it starts to add up. And I really like 2-3 props for him. I like his KO prop. I like his money line. So I think he's a great value for people who want some value on this card.
So are you telling me to up my units from 1 to 2?
For this scenario, I think it'd be a good one.
All right. I definitely will do that. Andre, and not the best nickname of all time, Andre Touchy-Feely, higher up on the card, taking on Jose Delgado.
Yeah, historically, I have not bet Feely very well. I've always seemed to be on the wrong side. I think every gambler has that fighter where they just can never get right. The one time I don't bet Feely, he wins, and then the one time that I like him as an underdog, he loses. I just can't get him right. But the good thing here is I'm on Delgado big time. I think
I'm betting Feely.
Jose Delgado I think he's a stud, man. I think he looks fantastic. He's knocking down everybody he fights. So again, it's one of those things where he's got that one-touch power. I think that it's just the right timing for him to get this matchup. He's getting a good name. He's getting a well-known name. I think it's going to push him through the rankings, and I think he's going to do it in style. I like him. Again, I just said this line, and I'm going to sound a little repetitive. I like him by money line. I like him. I like the under 2.5. I like the KO prop. I like the round 1 KO prop too. So I think this is an all Delgado line for me.
About 90 seconds left. Let's jump to the main event. Our good friend Josh Emmett taking on Kevin Vallejos.
Yeah, it's funny. Two of my favorite up and comers is Kevin Vallejos and Jose Delgado. So it's cool to see both of them on this card. Vallejos is a Dana White Contender Series. He's the one that, I don't know if you guys have not seen the Gian Silva fight with Kevin Vallejos, you need to go watch it. It was one of probably the best fights I've ever seen in Dana White Contender Series. Back and forth. It's his only loss, which is crazy that he went to such a close decision. 17-year age gap here. I think we can't, beat around that. It's again one of those matchups that I think he's getting Emmett at the right time. I think that it's a great spot for Kevin here. I really like him. I like him on the money line. It's crazy. It's like minus 500. So this would be what we would consider a parlay piece for people. I think it's a safe bet. I think if you want to throw a flyer out there, I think Josh Emmett by KO is always a fun one to throw out there. It's always possible if he gets in the pocket and lands something big. But I even like this, even though Emmett's, I don't think, ever been knocked out. This Vallejos guy just seems to have that touch. He's done it. He's done it to Giga Chikadze. I think he can do it here. So I'll certainly be looking at that play as well.
Final one from you, Matt. What do you got?
As a Danny at Precision Tax Accounting, finished my taxes this week. I sent my boss from Tapville over there today. She sent me a message. She loves Danny. He's saving everybody money, saved me a ton of money. So if you need your taxes done, go see Danny at Precision Tax and Accounting over in Pinellas Park or Clearwater or by you or somewhere by you.
All right, Jared. If you happen to see Matt walking somewhere, just run him over.
What are the odds of that?
Yeah, what are the odds of that? Good picks. We will talk again next week, and we'll talk about the White House card. This has been Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Song. See everybody next week.
This is Franco Harris with Randy Harris.